just not right. He begs for money night and day, for all of the games he wants to play. Must hit the goal or he don't win. He needs the cash to pay for gin. DARKSYDEPHIL is begging today. He needs your tips and you must pay. DARKSYDEPHIL, he's begging tonight. He needs your cash, just not right. They love to hate him, yes they do. He'll hit his goal, and that's true. Tune in and watch his sad decline. No money, honey, watch him whine. Whine. They love to hate him, yes they do. He'll hit his goal, and that's true. Tune in and watch his sad decline. No money, honey, watch him whine. Watch him whine. DARKSYDEPHIL is begging today. He needs your tips and you must pay. DARKSYDEPHIL, he's begging tonight. He needs your cash, just not right. Why? Don't lie. That's just not right. The despicable world of DARKSYDEPHIL. He needs your money to get by. The despicable world of DARKSYDEPHIL. He needs your money to survive. Come along and watch him play. He's got some goals and you must pay. Tune in, watch him beg and cry. His bills are due, he just may die. The despicable world of DARKSYDEPHIL. He needs your money to get by. The despicable world of DARKSYDEPHIL. He needs your money to get by. The despicable world of DARKSYDEPHIL. He needs your money to survive. Watch his begging streams all day. He sucks at games but makes you pay. Day off tomorrow and DoorDash. Send in some tips, he needs your cash. The despicable world of DARKSYDEPHIL. He needs your money to get by. The despicable world of DARKSYDEPHIL. He needs your money to survive.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome back, friends. I am sorry we once again had a crashed stream, and I said it last week, but I didn't have time over the weekend to transfer all of our bumpers and backgrounds and all of these things to the other streaming software. So I thought Well, it can't happen again. I could get by with one or two more shows on this software before. No, no, this will be the very last show using this software, which I highly caution any show host to stay away from because, they promise you the world. And, I have a background in computer science and I can tell you exactly what is happening. And that is during peak times, they don't have enough servers to handle the load of their customers, which to me is kind of a form of consumer fraud. If you're going to take my money every month to provide a service, there shouldn't be crashes every time I use it because this negates the all of the links that I put up are now going to a dead show. It's ridiculous. But in better news, we haven't talked about Phil for quite some time. Um, um, Yeah, I don't know. Well, we will check in. Thank you, Caleb. That's another problem. The Kick Chat suddenly is displaying the wrong title. It used to take the title that I gave it, and it would. Yeah, it's still doing that as well. So thank you, Caleb. It shouldn't on the next run because StreamYard does that correctly, and StreamYard also aggregates the Kick Chat to my main chat so I could read and share the Kick Chat chatters. So we will fix it. I promise. Tomorrow we'll run a show with StreamYard, which doesn't have this fancy stuff. It does well, it does, but it's harder to do it. They have like a 50 meg file limit for the animated backgrounds, and that means it's kind of like the loop has to be entirely perfect with StreamYard and a smaller file, or it looks like shit. And I've tried several different ways to do it. I'm going to ask Spooky to help me. We want to take a moment before we begin to thank Tricorder Transmissions. Oh, no, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Hold on. I know that we got a super chat in the other. Okay, yes. So I apologize. One for the goal already from Tales from the Sonic Voyage. For more barbecue sauce. Rock on, Steven. Well, you know what's interesting is this past weekend, I made ribs in my smoker at the cabin. And I just dry rubbed them. I usually dry rub them and then I put them in for 4 or 5 hours. And then I will glaze them down with the barbecue sauce, usually Sweet Baby Ray's. And then I put them in for another hour, about a half hour on each side, just to, get that caramelized on the ribs. I took the ribs off, the dry rub ribs off, and I tasted one that was sort of like that edge piece. And then I was like, I think I'm just going to eat them with the dry rub. So I did. But thank you I will buy more barbecue sauce. And we thank you, Tales of the Sonic Voyage, big show supporter, for your kindness and generosity.
Why did I spend the money? Someone asked me, why did I spend all that money? Because I'm going to get more. Trust me. I know I'm going to get more. I know I'm going to get more money. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tricorder Transmissions says, praise the cash and roast the fill. Big up, Steve. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support to you as well. Big show support so far from Tales of the Sonic Voyage and Tricorder Transmissions. Big ups back to you.
Without going into specifics yet again, yeah, I have no money. I'm being honest here. I have no money right now.
All right, and here is there's some good news, Tricorder Transmissions, and that is that I have been procrastinating on cleaning my office for about a month now. Usually I start cleaning it a month ago because in the next couple of weeks it will be cool enough for me to do the shows with the multicam setup and the preferred streaming environment from my office, which I much prefer. I hate this current setup because I work in my office and I can do that with the air conditioner on as long as I'm not broadcasting, but I can't broadcast with the air conditioner on because the audio files complain. Maybe my noise filter is not good enough, but the office is more or less clean. I have to sweep and mop the floor and maybe vacuum the two little area rugs, and then we're good to go. It is all cleaned out, cleaned up, but of course I'm going to have a week of kind of a nightmare. Every year I say I'm not going to start taking I'm not going to take the cameras down, or I'm just going to leave that setup. But then I need a camera, so like I needed one at the cabin. I didn't feel like buying another one, so I just borrowed it. Now I have to put it back. But we have a 6-camera setup in my office now. So I'm looking forward to it. Arlene, our wonderful moderator, is here, and I have to come over here and set a goal. I haven't set the goal. We have to be like Phil, and I'm going to start harassing everybody for the support goal. And I'm just going to pick 15 super chats at teal or higher, and we'll give it a 2-hour time limit. And I will do AMA session or DSP archaeology. You can call it out. Do you want to see the shower video? Do you want to see when he made disgusting tacos? We will do that. So I've started the goal. And boy, I have not checked in with Phil for quite some time. So I was catching up today. And what can I tell you? He's still begging and he's still seething when he does not hit the goal. And we have Cootie the Kid is here with one for the goal. And Tricorder, there's a big one for you as well. Cootie the Kid just says big ups, everyone. Big ups right back to you. Cootie the Kid is a big show supporter. Much.
I have a dangerously low bank account. Please tip me today.
Yes, Cootie the Kid. And actually, I am going to appeal for PayPal tips because I'm kind of under the gun at the cabin, and I feel kind of like a pussy because I'm like, I am not 100% confident that I can do this year's firewood myself. I usually do. Well, last year I caved too. But hey, anyway, for those unaware, in order to make enough firewood to even just spend every weekend at the cabin through winter, through this fall, winter, and spring, it's like, I don't know, maybe 4 cords. And that's just weekends, I think. 3, maybe 3. I don't know. I'd have to ask my neighbor what he thinks. But basically, every day I'm at the cabin, you need a wheelbarrow, like a flat, not a heaping pile on the wheelbarrow, just like fill the wheelbarrow flat. That's one day. So that's a lot of weekends. And for those that are unaware, to process that much firewood, for me, when I was doing it before, it was 3 or 4 weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, of just doing nothing but cutting down standing dead, cutting them into rounds, and then splitting them all. And then I decided to cave and just buy some firewood this year because my splitter is down as well. And I don't know if you've ever split firewood with just a maul. It's not easy. But it's a testament to our forefathers who did it with an axe or a splitting maul by hand. They didn't have machines back in the day. And look at that, Charles McDonald with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gifted Truth Seekers memberships. And this, my friends, is why you must hit that subscribe button. Because when a kind and generous soul like Charles McDonald, one of the kindest and most gentle, big supporters of the show, gifts these free memberships, you could win one. Like Ara won a free membership from Charles McDonald. Squeech won a free membership. Farty McFly got a free membership. Moth Loves Detracting and CN all were gifted wonderful free membership. And my hope is that Charles McDonald is doing the Lord's work. He is expanding our members community. Every show just about, he drops some free subs, free memberships for you people in the live chat. But again, in order to win one of those, you've got to be a subscriber on the channel, but not yet a member. And for those unaware, if you become a member, just click that join button. I get a message and we give you a big shout out and thank you. So big shout out and thank you to you people who got a free membership. But hey, let's get some people joining tonight and expand our member section. Thank you, Charles, for helping to do that. And our hope is that you people will get the free sample and that you'll give me the $5 next month. For those unaware, our Patreon is $1 and the member section is $5. You get the same videos, but on YouTube, you get some extra goodies like a channel member badge and that kind of thing. And also, we want to thank Lauren Pritchard, who bought me 3 beers on Buy Me a Beer or Buy Me a Coffee. Oh, wait a minute. Thank you, Charles McDonald.
Dude, I'm going to make so much money. This is insane.
And thank you, Lauren Pritchard.
I have no money. Why would you give that man money?
And for those unaware, I have a new system now, and that is, and thank you, Charles, so much for your continued support. My new system is that my wife decided that I was spending, maybe I'm spending too much money on beer or whatever, and I should cut back. And so I decided I will only spend whatever is in the buy me a beer or buy me a coffee every month. But so far, that's doing much better than my usual budget. So I don't think this is, maybe it's not a good idea. But hey, go up there and support me and save me from the horrors of brokey beer. That's right. For several weeks, I was so financially in trouble that I had to buy brokey beer. And people keep asking me what brokey beer is. Milwaukee's Best, Natural Ice. That beer that's like $14 a 30 pack. And yeah, that's not good stuff. But thank you for your kindness of you people buying me a beer. And then we have Katie Death Squad is here. Phil is balding and Ket is fat. We will allow that. We will allow that. I mean, we have to, right? Thank you, Katie Death Squad, for your support. That's one for the goal. I think we're going to hit the goal tonight. I feel it in my bones.
The dollar signs are too powerful for a lot of people, man.
Yeah, and just a quick note, there's a reason we're back to Phil, and that is I am completely and totally disgusted with UFO New Age scammers and grifters. And I can't say too much because now I have become involved in what is going to be a legal situation with someone that we covered who decided it would be a good idea to attack not just me, but my wife and my children. And it's kind of a long story, so I'm not going to get into the details because, I'm still talking to an attorney. There may be some significant changes to the show, or to be very, very honest with you, I may have to just walk away from this show. And it's certainly not something that I want to do, quit this show after I've spent 5 years building an audience and building a great reputation for good content. But here's the thing. Every story has a price. And a recent story that I ran on a fake psychic swindler had a very significant price. And the issue that I have is, as sort of an investigative journalist, I'm aware that sometimes when you do an expose on someone and you humiliate them, embarrass them, and expose their scams, they're going to attack you back. And I'm perfectly okay with anybody attacking me personally. If I run a story and I expose your scam and you want to attack me for doing so, I'm okay. I can take anything that you can throw at me. The problem comes when they attack my wife and my children, who have nothing to do with this show, and they didn't sign up for this. I think you guys know what I mean. Like, I'm willing, people have called me a Satan worshiper and a child predator with no evidence of that whatsoever. People have spread salacious rumors about me on internet forums and Reddit, that all kinds of things they've said about me. And I'm okay with that because people know the truth, really. I'm okay. And usually these people, they do nothing but run their mouth on the internet. Oh, I got blurry there for a minute, like Bigfoot. They do nothing but run their mouth on the internet. And this particular individual has basically terrorized people, multiple people. She has a track record of terrorizing people, anybody who's critical of her on the internet. You know what she does? She gets government agencies involved to try to mess with your family. And the fact that the government will allow a psychic swindler to weaponize a government agency against an innocent man and his innocent family, it's just too much for me. And so you'll pardon me if I'm a little distracted this week, but now I'm suddenly in a legal situation which I'm going to have to deal with. And my wife is so angry and upset about this situation. She feels, perhaps rightly so, that I have put my family in danger recklessly and knowingly. And that may be the case. She may be right. My wife's point is, you knew what this woman did to other people, and you exposed her in a story anyway. What did you think was going to happen here? Well, I certainly didn't think what happened would happen. I, have been through several attacks from her. She sent a fake lawyer to call into my show. She sent fake lawyer letters, fake from her simps. They're not even lawyers. She sent people to threaten me and intimidate me and harass me into silence and not cover her story anymore. So I kind of thought she's done the worst thing that she could do. But now she has done something that's so vile, so despicable, that in the first time in the entire history of my show, I'm going to aggressively defend myself with a lawyer if possible or if necessary. But as everybody knows, paying a lawyer is a black hole of doom. You'd be better off. I don't know. It's just it's a very bad situation, and I am cards on the table, as honest I could be about the situation. I am mentally distraught right now because I've never seen my wife so angry and so upset and so, just I've never seen my wife so emotionally affected by something stupid that's going on my show, because it's not stupid, because now this crazy woman who claims that she could take people up through a Stargate to visit aliens in a spaceship, who claims that she can turn into a wolf and does so frequently, who claims that she could heal people even of terminal cancer with her psychic powers, who claims that she could time travel and go to other dimensions and open stargates. Like, this woman has made some absolutely ridiculous claims. So when a woman like that calls a government office and starts making claims about me, my wife, and my children, I think they should at least consider the source of the claims and whether this person is credible to be making very serious accusations against me. And again, the woman has a proven track record. She has terrorized another woman in California for I believe it's 3 years, calling in multiple complaints to government agencies concerning her and her children. And that woman has sued her. But I think that this woman, Sarah, she just ignores lawsuits. So what do I do here? Now I have to deal with a government agency and maybe an investigation and all kinds of stuff. And it's really a bad situation. So terrible is this situation that I really almost didn't come here today. I am seriously considering just shutting this whole thing down because, again, as much as I love this show, I'm not willing to do something that will endanger my children and my wife and my family. They didn't sign up for this. This is too much. However, most of me thinks that this woman has now done the very worst, most despicable, most evil, underhanded thing she could possibly do to try to get revenge on me for releasing that body cam footage, humiliating her, embarrassing her, felting her, and exposing her for the scammer that she is. I really think she can't do any worse, but you never know. This woman has Kool-Aid drinking cult members that are running around threatening other people. How do I know that they won't come here in the real world? And by the way, that would be very foolish. And thank you, Trolly Troll Troll, for your kindness, generosity, and support. Back in college, this would buy a pitcher of beer. Yes, it would. Do you remember those days? Those were the good old days, Trolly Troll Troll.
Throw money at me.
And here we have Candy Death Squad with another one for the legal fund. Well, thank you for your kindness. It's much appreciated.
But let's face it, also, money talks.
All right, let me get caught up here. Tim Curley is here with one for the goal. She's a loser and you're a winner. Please don't retire the show, Stephen. Don't let the grifters win. Well, there is some other options, and I'm going to talk. Let's talk about them.
Throw money at me.
And I'll talk more about them if people throw more money at me, just so you're aware. No. The other option is that maybe it's time to change some of the show format. But what worries me is that people come here for the hard-hitting exposés. People come here because I am aggressive in my reporting. People come here because I really, really do a great job with these investigative journalism pieces. And people thoroughly enjoy watching a scammer get exposed for what they really are. And I've certainly, especially if you've been watching here for quite some time, I do all kinds of different shows, not just those shows, but those are the big number shows. Those are the shows that people support the most. So if I, in other words, I could change the show format to be a lot less confrontational, no exposés, and instead of tackling crazy scammer people, I could tackle tough subjects. And nobody is really going to, attack my family for that, but you never know. But thank you, Tim Curley, for your kindness. And Starlight Warrior, who's also a big show supporter, is here. Keep your head up, trooper. I am definitely doing that. Thank you, Starlight Warrior. And thank you for your support and being a supporter for so long.
Cash money, bitches. Cash money.
All right. And we've got Splink with one for the goal. I just want to hear you push the button. There you go. And I think I forgot to push it for Starlight Warrior. So I'll push it twice, and then you get a bumper. You get a bumper. Everybody gets a thank you bumper today.
Dude, I'm going to make so much money. This is insane.
So, Alien Scientist is here, and I'm sure Jeremy, Alien Scientist here, he's been doing this longer than me. He has dealt with his fair share of crazy people. If enough crazy, unhinged people with large followings start hating you, you can become a target. It's a dangerous world. That's entirely correct. And Jeremy has a wife, or maybe ex-wife, I'm sorry, Jeremy, and children. He knows how I feel. Like when I know Jeremy well enough to know that he might agree with me on this situation. Like when I've painted such a target on my back that people decide, well, we can't hurt Steven, so how we can get to him is to, because people have tried. People have hired private investigators to dig up dirt on me. They call it opposition research or whatever. And there's no dirt. I'm very boring outside of this. I've been with the same woman for 28 years. There's no marital problems or infidelity. There's no financial problems, no bankruptcies, no criminal history. There's no dirt that they can find. So they have decided that since they can't find dirt on me to hurt me with, they will, and by the way, there's no dirt on my wife or children either, but they've found a way to, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was like, I'm not exactly sure of what your situation was. So just a wife. Okay, rumors again. Well, thank you, Jeremy, for correcting me. But I'm sure you understand how I feel. Like I can't be doing something that is going to cause people to attack my wife or attack my children. I have to draw the line at that. So it either means an end to the show or major changes to the show. And of course, there are some people that are never going to really be able to attack me. Like they're okay to do shows about, and Band of Thieves. Thank you for that. Band of Thieves just subscribed to the Clips channel. Thanks to you and Spooky. Well, thank you. If you subscribe to the Clips channel, let me know like Band of Thieves just did. And I will put I'll give you a big shout out and thank you. So big shout out and thank you. For doing that to Band of Thieves. I appreciate that. We just need a little bit more of you to go over there and we can get that channel monetized. So what people need to understand, especially about like the UFO conspiracy world, is there are some dangerous, psychopathic, crazy people, especially the cult leader type, which we seem to interact with an awful lot and cover people like that. So, it's just a bad situation all around. I mean, the last thing I want to do, I worked so hard to build this, it's like, imagine building a house. And then as soon as you're done building the house and you move in and you're finally starting to enjoy the fruits of your labor, that you just burn the house down and leave it. That's how I feel about this whole situation. But let's just begin on the clips. Maybe we'll have some laughs in this here this time. DSP, God Holy Crash Out, putting a debt on viewers and fans react. All right, let me share my screen. and we will get started. And Jeremy, I can catch up with you off air and tell you a little more details about what is actually happening. But it's basically the worst thing that could possibly happen to me, really. It's really not good. One moment here. Okay, we get into our folder.
The fact that I might lose my fucking house over something that I have nothing whatsoever control over or to do with.
Yep. Yep.
That's the worst feeling.
Same here when it comes to him. I got all kinds of nasty messages. People tell me they know where I live, you know?
All right. So here's the deal. I'm going to do something I've never done before. All right. It's twofold, actually. Here's what we're going to do. Today, you can contribute on today's streams.
Like, he's going to do something he's never done before, like not beg through an entire... Oh, wait, he did do that one time just to show, like, see, I didn't beg through that stream and I didn't hit my goal.
For Silk Song. All right. Take a look. Do you see this?
Oh, gosh.
I cannot continue to succeed because...
Sorry.
Play the game again.
Sorry, I lost my place here. So he came up with a new way to scam viewers, which is to make them pay for a game he's not even playing yet. Like, give me $150 before I even start playing the game that you guys want me to play. That's one of those things. Wow. He is constantly innovating ways to squeeze every dollar he can out of the moron, retarded people that watch him.
This is for Silk Song. Or we send me a tip. In the body of the tip, put a something there and say, hey, this is for Silk Song. Okay? So let's see if you guys really want Silk Song or not. Again, put your money where your mouth is and support it, and then we'll play it tomorrow. It's actually going to be tomorrow's daytime stream.
I love how the cat is trying to fuck his mouth with its tail. That's awesome.
I can't concentrate. I just had to spray Jasper with a water bottle because he would not move. He was sitting here. I was at my desk doing some stuff. Setting up the stream and doing various things. And Jasper's in the office, and he's sitting here, and he won't move. It'll be tomorrow's daytime stream.
To be fair.
If we hit $54 of support for Silk Song today, okay? So right now we have if any contributions come in, and you say, hey, this is for Silk Song, let's make it happen. We'll do Silk Song tomorrow if we hit the $54. Now, in addition to this, I'm going to give you 2 for 1.
What?
If we hit the $54 of support for Silk Song.
This is how badly he needs $54. He has no shame whatsoever. Like, I want this $54 so badly. I'm going to promise these morons all kinds of stuff.
Okay. Guess what? I'm also going to count it as a goal that was hit, because if we're counting it for last night, then we might as well count it towards the goal from last night. So if we hit $54 of support for Silk Song today on these streams, we'll get to 46 goals.
Yeah,
do you guys actually want Silk Song
with his
for
audience?
Real? Or is it a bunch of vocal LARPers who basically are people who are contrarians who just want to say, whatever
$54.
Phil's not doing, that's what he should be doing. And what he is doing is always wrong. Let's put it to the test. Today is your ultimate.
My favorite, though, is when he, like, stops the stream and starts, like, counting up. Like, guys, I've been here for 90 minutes and I've only gotten $10. Like, what the fuck, guys? Really? Is that the way it's going to be today? I just crack up rolling, laughing at him. I can't help it. It's so bizarre that somebody would complain to their audience. Like, you guys only gave me... Yeah, I'll do that. Maybe I'll... Listen, we have been live for 34 minutes, and I have only gotten 5 super chats towards the support goal. And I don't believe we've gotten any kick support, right? Yeah. And by the way, I apologize to the kick chatters. It still says a wrong title over on Kick. I don't know why that is. I got to figure out how to fix that. And I apologize. It's been the same title for like 2 weeks now.
Chance to prove.
And it's the wrong title. We're not covering Corey Good.
Prove that you actually want Silk Song or not.
The winner is Black Boy Matt.
When I'm out of town, I be tripping, I be on one.
Silk Song is on Game Pass. If you're saying that you need to justify the cost of the game, you're an idiot. You're actually stupid. That's really dumb.
Call your audience stupid. That's a good way to get support. Yes, Phil. And isn't that such an odd, that is an odd number. He wants $54 before he will play the game that people want him to play. And then he'll beg for another $150. So what is it? He wants $204 for something? I don't know.
We're gauging support for the playthrough. If I'm going to commit to playing it, I need to be sure people actually will show up and support it. Not, oh, let's start playing a game, get 10 hours in, and everyone quits. So show me that you want Silksong. Support it today. Let's get support rolling for Silksong.
Give me $54 or else. Echo is here with 10 and says Echo is here with 10. Thank you, Echo. And says, for the legal fund, changing topics for a while might even bring in new people to the channel. No shortage of disgusting grifters if you want to come back and talk about scumballs again later. Experiment. Most of me agrees with you. And I think, and by the way, I thought about all kinds of stuff. I had to check in with my wife. Like, what was a good week when I was doing Uber all week? Like, can I just go? And by the way, Echo, one more thing is that, I really do believe that too much attention and spotlight on you is kind of corrosive to the soul. And maybe I got a little bit of imposter syndrome after that Kino bump when I started getting a lot more live viewers. And I was like, wow, this is a little too much. So there is a part of me that would like to just be invisible again. Just be some, drive a taxi or not be a public figure on the internet. But I've worked so hard to build this show, and I've learned so much about creating content that I would feel like I was letting everybody down. It's just a lot to think about. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Big time show supporter Echo.
I have a dangerously low bank account. Please tip me today.
Those are excellent words of wisdom. And here's what I'll say. I have been starting covering true crime for basically 2 years now. And I counted up, I have 28 folders of half done or 3/4 or mostly done whole stories on different true crime cases that interest me. And so I was going to do that. Maybe now I'll finally do that. I have an excuse to, and at least we can minimize the content that people are going to find so objectionable that they'll decide to, come after my wife and family. But thank you, Echo. Good words, good advice. I appreciate it. Mother Freya, who's a Praise the Cash member, gifted 1 True Seekers membership. That's another new member joining our fold, thanks to Mother Freya. And this is why, my friends, you have to hit that subscribe button, because if you're in the live chat and a kind and generous person like Mother Freya gifts a membership, you could win one, like Freezy Pop tonight, who won a free membership thanks to Mother Freya.
But let's face it, also, money talks.
It does talk. Thank you, Mother Freya. And I appreciate it. 2B Flair says, I'm working on that. I'll tell you about it later, Stephen. I can help with the legwork too for any loose ends. Yeah. I remember, do you know the big channel, the Y Files? Like, he has researchers that just basically build the show for him and do all the legwork and research. I wish I could have that myself. I could do a lot more work. Terry, not my rabbit hole with Terry Joyce is here. I love your show, Stephen. You're a talent. Keep growing. This is just a speed bump. Yeah, tell that to my wife, who's basically talking to divorce attorneys over this situation, Terry. It's not good. It's the worst situation. I've been with this woman 28 years. I've never seen her this angry at me. I've never seen her so upset. I've never seen her so, it's just it's the worst thing this girl could have done to me. What happened to Grifter Month? It keeps getting postponed because I'm having trouble coming up with enough good scammy material. But every once in a while, I do 2 or 3 more videos. We have a pretty big folder. But when I originally planned that, I wanted to be able to release 3 to 5 videos a day of like Bigfoot walking around in the woods and aliens and UFOs and cryptid creatures. And just you'd have to rewind and go over it. But basically, one of the scammers I recently exposed has attacked my wife and children with a government agency and me. And now it's going to be this whole legal situation. and it's just a bad situation. So bad that I almost said I'm just gonna. I thought better of it, but over the weekend I went to the channel and I looked at all of the videos, not all of them, but I went to my analytics and I thought, how long would it take me to just private every video on this channel and walk away? And then I thought better of it and thought to just cool down and wait it out, and hopefully cooler heads will prevail. Moth loves detracting with one for the goal. Saying one for the goal. Thank you, Moth loves detracting. Long-time show supporter.
Well, let's face it also, money talks.
It does talk. And thank you, Moth loves detracting, for often letting your money talk to me. Back to the pig roach.
Let's get $54. We'll count it towards Silk Song. We'll count it towards yesterday's goal. Let's do it. And then we will continue and we'll do Chronos today. Let's go.
Wow, you're the guy! Yeah, you're 35 and you're the guy!
By the way, these clips come from DSP Memology, who I think does the best edits because he throws in sprinklings of classic DSP nonsense with the newest stuff.
Yeah!
Let's get some subs over on Kick. How about a membership on YouTube? Let's get some support for Chronos today.
This is the Super Beggar sampler. He wants one of each thing.
Let's go. Right now. What's it doing? It's mutating? Oh, great. I couldn't move. I'm trying to move. I'm too slow. I'm dead. I can't move at all. Your character is awful in this game. They can't even turn or move. They're slow as shit. They're all insanely slow. So I can't fight them all.
You ever notice it's always the game's fault when he dies in the game? It's never his fault.
This is what I was saying. Like last stream, people were like, take your time, fight the enemies. I can't. There's not enough resources in the game. I'm out of ammo. And now the game expects me to fight a big guy. I just got to run by everything. Seriously, I just got to run fucking by everything.
Yeah, that's something to think
no way
about.
to actually just fight everything systematically.
I think she's going to cool off and calm down.
Oh
She
my
usually
God,
does, dude.
Wow.
Love.
What a baby.
Damn. Okay. So I hope that you guys are enjoying. Now, what I was saying earlier, first of all, this particular stream is the final stream where I get credit for anything.
Yeah,
for
Mother
Kick of the
Freya,
Week.
that may be a good idea.
Excuse me. And I get paid for it later in the week. So guys, if you're on Kick today, please give some subs. We have only one sub today, and it's Buckwell becoming a sub. Please, let's get some subs on Kick today. Right now, we're at what? 65 bucks of support out of the 150 goal. Obviously, now the Taco Bell menu is out that we're going to do DSP Tries It on. We want to hit that goal. Let's get to that goal today. Let's get some subs on Kick. All right, who's going to give some subs right now? Let's get a...
I love it. Pay me so that I can eat Taco Bell. And that's your reward, slobs.
few. And then everyone watching, thank you so much for chilling. Please support the stream. Let's get some super chats, some tips. Let's hit that goal. We still have around 3 hours on the stream.
Me too. And
let's get that momentum going now. Let's get to the, how about this? Let's get to the halfway point. Stop begging. It's not begging. It's motivating, bitch.
Did you hear him? It's
okay.
not begging. It's
so when I come back, there's lots
bitch.
more. There's still like over 90 minutes of gameplay coming. Now, when I come back, guys, I got to ask you for a favor. Please support the stream. All right? We've been doing all right. It's now been, no exaggeration, over an hour since we had any support. We want to hit these goals so we can do DSP
I haven't
tries
gotten
this
any
week.
money in a whole
Right now we're at
hour?
46. We need 4 more
Fuck you,
goals.
dense.
There's no
Where's
reason
the
why we
whales?
shouldn't hit a goal on this stream. We're doing good. We got good momentum going. The game is good. Everything is good. Please support it.
Everything
All right,
is good
anything.
except the
Whether
content.
it's a super chat, a membership. Like I said today, a sub would help tons because it's the final stream on Kick for me for this week. That counts for this week. And we got nothing. So what's going on? I mean, honest question. It's Tuesday. All right. And we only have 6 people who've even gifted a sub on Kick this week. And it totals like 12.
What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on?
Oh boy.
So what the hell is going on Kick this week?
Yeah,
It's an honest question. The attendance isn't low,
I
but
got
no
the
one is
same
supporting on
question.
Kick this week. What is going on? Out of the almost 90 people watching on Kick, there's no one
I can't believe he gets 90 on Kick. I don't get anywhere near that. But I probably get more support than him, which is funny.
watching and saying, hey, this is a good stream. Bill's actually, you know, playing a challenging game. It's tense. I'm liking the vibe. I like the content. Let's get halfway to the goal, and then we could, you know, work towards it for the second half. You're telling me there's no one out there enjoying the stream. I don't buy that, or else you wouldn't be here. If the truth is, if you weren't enjoying the stream, you would not be here. You'd be watching on a fucking restreamer or something. This is a terrible stream. Well, then leave. What is keeping you here if you don't like Chronos? Really? Narwhal Gaming, it's time to dispel the nonsense. Well, aren't the Kick viewers contributing because they're watching?
He doesn't understand that half his viewers are hate viewers. Like, doesn't he know that half his viewers just tune in to watch him, like, seethe and beg? Oh, man. I just don't get it.
Dude, I have 80-something viewers on Kick. How much do you think Kick pays me for 80-something viewers on a stream?
Not much.
Realistically.
Not
Do you
much.
think I'm making tons of money on that? I'm making almost nothing. Okay? That's stupid.
Listen to him. Holy shit, the begging. Every time I think he can't beg any possibly more, it gets worse. Or better, I guess. Master Betty, too. Look at him seething. Wah, cry, piggy. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. Much appreciated.
Why did I spend the money? Someone asked me, why did I spend all that money? Because I'm going to get more. Trust me. I know I'm going to get more. I know I'm going to get more money. You don't have to worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Thank you, Master Betty, for making sure I get more. Maybe take a break. Well, sorry. Thank you, Dave, with £5 and one for the goal, saying maybe take a break, get the situation sorted, and then see how you feel afterwards. I really enjoyed the old interviews and Roswell stuff. Well, thank you for that. And, there's a problem with that as well.
Without going into specifics yet again, yeah, I have no money. I'm being honest here. I have no money right now.
Dave, the YouTube is currently, the views are flat. Like they're just, I thought it was the summer slump, but we're coming out of the summer and they're not really improving. And I have to make some changes anyway, because it feels like the views are dropping and our rate of growth, or how many new subs we're getting every month, is really not great right at the moment. And if I were to take a few weeks off and step out of this hamster wheel called YouTube or whatever, or even Spreaker, the audio podcast, if you take a few weeks off, then it takes you 2 or 3 weeks to even get back to where you were view-wise and live viewer-wise and growth rate-wise when you left. So I kind of feel a little stuck in when it comes to that. I can't really take time off, because if I do, the hamster wheel slows down to a crawl, and I don't know.
The dollar signs are too powerful for a lot of people, man.
Thank you, Dave, for your kindness. I appreciate it immensely. And probably good advice. Maybe I should just take the time off regardless of the consequences and deal with it when I return or whatever.
If I had 500...
I haven't taken a week off in 2 years. I take weekends off, and sometimes very long weekends like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I really don't have a right to complain about not having a vacation time, because I had long weekends all summer. But I mean, it is what it is.
1,000 viewers, then I'd be making good money. I have 80 viewers on Kick. Chef Demesky, I counted the $54 from before.
Host.
I swear
Wow,
to
that's
God,
an
the next person
interesting
that says I
idea.
didn't count it is going to get banned. I've had enough. I've counted the $54. I gave
Terry Joyce, you were in the live chat. You want to be the Truth Seekers guest host for a few weeks? I'll let somebody like Terry, who, Terry is like a journalist, and Terry would bring good stories here. I could help in the background, and Terry knows what she's doing. It's a good idea, actually. I didn't even think of that idea, right? Maybe that's a good option, because then at least the hamster wheel would keep moving slowly while I was gone, or maybe even faster. Who knows? Maybe they'll like the guest host better than me. You never know.
an extra goal. We were at 46. We're not at 45. We're at 46. I said, hey, we hit a goal because of the $54 tip. And now we're counting towards the next goal. So stop with the bullshit, because I'm tired of
He
people
scammed
trying
his
to make me look bad.
viewers, and now he's upset that they noticed they got scammed. Trying to make me look bad.
I actually gave extra, and now people say I gave less. Fuck off, trying to spin everything as a
He's
toxic negative.
seething.
That didn't happen. You're
did
inventing
happen.
fucking events that didn't happen on the stream. I counted a goal towards DSP Tries It for $54. So I don't want to hear it. Really, it pisses me off when people want to just make shit up. The funny part is that people say, why does he even address this? Because he's giving the detractors ammo. Literally everything I say is ammo. Every word out of my mouth.
You're right, because every word out of your mouth makes you look stupid. So it is, yeah.
I'm not going to sit here silent for the stream. Anything I say is ammo for the detractors, because even if nothing happens, they still make something up anyway. So it doesn't matter. The moment I turn on the stream...
Yeah, he always says that the detractors make stuff up, and I think that could be correct in some very isolated cases. But he always says that, oh, detractors just make stuff up with no evidence, like the 220 thing. There's a recorded audio interview with a cop that said you were a 220, meaning a mental case. They didn't just make that up, you know?
They're going to say something toxic, so why do we even bring it up? You're the one bringing up the detractors, not me. Like, that's asinine. Like, oh, now the detractors have a clip. They have a clip no matter what. No matter when I turn on the stream, they have something, so what the fuck are you talking about? Like, use your brain.
Drunk stream with
That's
Ralph
right.
will
People
send a
want to
channel
see
to the moon.
me specifically play the game. That's correct. That's
I don't even know how we would
you want
do
to
that.
see DSP
I gotta give you my
suffer
login
through
credentials
a very
for StreamYard or something?
survival
I
horror
don't know.
game. So since you're here because you specifically
We'll
want to
talk
see
about
DSP play it, then please support that content. That's what I ask. If you're here to watch the stream I'm
figure that
providing
out.
because you enjoy watching me play games in the way that I do, then support that content and then there will be more of it. We talked about it earlier before I started playing the game. That if you like content, you support it, then because you've supported it, that money can be made to make more content. Right? That's how it works.
Yeah, no, he uses that money for gin and DoorDash. He doesn't use that money to make more content. Unless you count buying, very cheap games on Steam. I think there's a reason that he plays old RPGs. It's because you could get them for like $4, and then he can make $150 playing a game he's only invested $4 into. It's a great scam.
Now, I just sit here like a lump, and I say I get everything for free because I'm entitled, and I just get everything. And then, how dare you even ask for any support and make a living? How could you? No, that's not how fucking life works.
Yes.
We made the allegory of a movie, that if a movie comes out and people like it and they go watch it at the theater and they pay for the subscription or the on-demand rental,
yes,
the movie
she
makes
is,
money,
Frey.
that those
Arlene
movie
is
makers
awesome.
can go make more movies that you like. As opposed to if you say you want the movie, but then you pirate the movie.
I don't
you
think he
illegally
buys
download
her
the movie,
anything.
right? Then they make no money and they can't make more content.
And to pull Hogan.
So you're shooting yourself in the foot when you don't support the content you like. If you don't like the content, then
His
what
whole
are you doing?
life is begging
What I'm
for
saying
money.
is there's a group of people who are LARPers. They come in here and they pretend like they're fans of mine. They're not. And they sit here and they talk shit and they're very toxic about everything. And God forbid that I'm on my own stream, my own business, and I say, hey, please support the stream. Oh, he's begging. It's horrible that he would do that. No, I have to do that. Because if I don't do that, I can't make a living. I don't want to sit here and become Mr. Shill, Mr. Ask, Mr. Beg. I just want to have fun with you guys. Chill, hang out, enjoy games, and then, hey, the support will come. And that's always been my philosophy. If I'm enjoying what I'm doing on a stream and you're enjoying what I'm doing on the stream and the content is that kind of reciprocal relationship and we're all enjoying each other's company, then the support will just naturally come. And in general, it does. And people should understand that if they support the content they like, they get more of it, right? If you pirate the content, if you go watch it elsewhere because it's stolen, then the content cannot continue to succeed because I need to make a living.
Yeah, good idea.
So it's that simple.
We used to do
it
a lot
really
more
is
of
a simple
that.
thing. But they don't want to act like they want, anytime that he says anything about profits or being supported, it's a toxic, horrible thing. No, it's not. And the truth is, what happens when we hit goals? Then I'm like, well, I actually don't want to talk anymore about goals. We hit the goal. We're good. Right now, if we hit the goal of 150, I would say, hey, thanks a lot. Maybe we can hit a second goal, but hey, thanks for hitting the goal, and then we can just play the game.
No, bullshit.
He's a filthy, dirty liar.
He is a filthy, dirty liar because every time Phil does hit a goal, he immediately starts begging for the next one. Like, I've seen him do streams where in 90 minutes he hits the $150 goal. And immediately he starts bitching and whining and begging to get another $150. And in the rare occasions where he hits 2 goals in one stream, then he starts begging for the third 150. This greedy pig wants $450 at times to play video games for a couple of hours badly. It's ridiculous.
Instead, I've been here 2 hours and there's been $10 of support in 2 hours. Green Luigi, no other streamer is in the situation I'm in, so fuck off. Really, no other streamer is in the unique situation I'm in, so I have to do things differently and you can kiss my ass. If you don't like the content, leave. What are you doing here?
All right.
Right? So
I'll pull
I'm going to
Darkside
continue to.
Phil
Thank you,
myself.
Princess Luna. Princess Luna.
We're halfway towards the goal, more than halfway towards the goal. So it's all downhill from here, friends. Let's get 7 more, and we'll do an Ask Me Anything after we've gotten through the slop. I mean, the high quality content I'm sharing with you and commenting on tonight.
Luna, $7 super chat. Now we've hit halfway to the goal, and now we're going to play. I was going to say we're going to have to play anyway. If you just sit here complaining all day, you don't like any of the content. Anytime that I ask for support, I'm horrible. What a horrible person I am. Don't you understand it? You serve no purpose. Just go watch the fucking trap and leave us all alone. Stop fucking crapping on these chats.
Not his performance.
We want to actually enjoy the game together. I want to sit here and talk with people and have engagement. I don't want to see people just literally constantly complain. It's frustrating. It does. It gets to you. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he wants $450
I'm not
to play
kidding.
games
I just
terribly.
received a $100 tip.
You know what? I thought of a funny thing that we could do. And that is whatever. I don't know very much about video game streaming. I guess I'm going to have to figure that out, like get a capture card and figure it out, because I don't know how to do it currently, at least not do it well. StreamYard, for some reason, if I play a game even in a window, like a Windows window, and then I share that window, it doesn't share the audio, which means you can't really just you need something like OBS to really stream video games. But what I thought would be funny is if I did a stream the same time Phil's doing a stream, playing the same game, but I will not beg at all. I'll announce, here's a goal, and let's get some support at the beginning of the stream, and we'll see if I can do better than Phil. You really need to use OBS to do video game streaming. I think my neighbor Matt can help me figure that out because he's done it and he knows how to do it. OBS is the easy setup. OBS or similar. Yeah, I'm going to look into it. If there was a time when I was going to start doing retro game streams, and I mean real retro game streams like DOSBox, old DOS VGA games and stuff, because I haven't seen many people or any people really on Twitch or Kick streaming really old games, and a lot of people would like to see playthroughs of that stuff again.
Like, I'm just so tired of this stupid shit. I really am.
Thank you guys so much. Now, you see how that works? Positive people support, and now we can all enjoy the rest of the game and the rest of the stream. And now, you notice no one's toxic, right? Everyone's being positive, and guess what?
He's just going to start begging for another 150.
Why does he mention support? This is why, because now we can play the game and enjoy for the rest of the stream. But you don't get it. That's why you sit there and you're miserable. Because now I can't believe you just got all that support. You're right. You can't believe it because you're a dumbass.
Yeah.
You just sit there
the kind of
and you
games
fucking complain and you whine.
Like
everything I do
from
is
my
wrong.
heyday of
Except
gaming.
I'm making
I'm an old son of a bitch. All right. Wow. We made it through that beg fest. Holy jeez, man. Holy shit. That guy begs so much, man. Yo, and listen, I grew up on the mean streets of Philadelphia. I've seen beggars before. You know the crackheads in Philly? Them crackheads come up with they always have a story too. They always have some sad story to tell you, but any money you give them, they're going to spend it on crack. It's the same with Phil, except Phil spends it on DoorDash gin and he spends it on that mobile video game. That's his crack. Echo says, I love vintage games, especially Gen X, being all nostalgic for Commodore 64 games stored on a cassette tape. Yeah, I have great Amiga emulators. I thought we could play, I don't know about Commodore 64. That's a little too old, I think, even for me. I don't think I'd want to play a Commodore 64 game for hours at a time on a stream. But Amiga games, like, go look up Another World, the Amiga game Another World. That would be fun to stream and go through. Or, like, what is it, Secrets of Monkey Island and some of those old games, and the old DOS games. That's when I was really playing games all day, all the time, back in the DOS game, and then in early Windows games, Windows 95 and Windows 98 games. Haven't been gaming very much lately. I live vicariously through my son. Like, sometimes he takes up the living room with his PlayStation, and he's always playing Grand Theft Auto and running around blowing shit up and stuff. So I just kind of watch him. And I keep saying I'm going to start an account and play GTA. I haven't yet. or play Red Dead Redemption. I haven't yet, but hopefully I'll get to it. You always think you're gonna have time for things, right? And you know what? Retro computing is like that. Do you know how many retro computers I have sitting around here? And some of them I already had, but some of them I was like, oh, I'd really like to play some old, whatever games. So I get some old computer like an Amiga or an Atari ST. I have an Atari 8-bit 800 XL or whatever, because the Atari versions back in the day on Atari computers, like the Atari games, like if you get Centipede or a lot of different games that Atari was responsible for, you get them on the 800 XL. They're pretty good. They're almost as good as the arcade versions. So, but I get these computers, and I think I'm gonna have time. I have a friend that's into retro computing, and he's like, yeah, you buy it thinking that you're going to have the time to play it. You're not really buying it to play it. You're buying it to think about playing it. It'll sit in a corner for 2 years before you have time to hook it all up and get it working and figure out how to get data in and out of it, figure out how to get a monitor working on it again. Leisure Suit Larry. Yeah, that's another classic, right? Yeah. All right, let's see what this one. One second. I forgot what the title of this one is. Monumental Begging. Gets scammed by fans. No, isn't this the one we already just did? Wait a second. Oh, no, this is a different one. Okay.
I love it. And it's that stuff's positive, and there's other stuff that's positive behind the scenes, but the fact that I might lose my fucking house over something that I have nothing whatsoever control over or to do with.
Yeah, it's not his fault. He went $500,000 in debt. It's not his fault at all. I love the sad music.
Let's see how it goes. All right, that's simple. That's the thick of things. That's how it goes tonight.
Did he just?
I'll be honest. Right now, the chat's barely moving, so I don't know what's going on. It's like a snail. And for the amount of people who yelled at me to play this game and said they wanted it, the fact that we have 140 people on YouTube only. How many are on Kick right now? 40.
Yeah. half a million on mobile games.
140 on YouTube and 40 on Kick. It's not looking very good. Now, I'm not starting yet. We're going to start in about 15, 20 minutes. So we'll have a little bit of build up. Hopefully more people show up. We'll find out.
You want to sell it? Speaking of buying computers I don't have time for. Right now, I have an original Amiga 1000, and that was my first Amiga. And I have, dude, every time I've moved, that was the first thing that I would like. I would bubble wrap it and shit, I would take really good care of it, put it in like extra packaging to make sure it got to the new place I was moving to in one piece. It's a miracle. I still have an original Amiga 1000 that I got. Originally, I got it in 1986, and I got it secondhand. They were released in 84. And I have an original 1080 monitor and some other stuff for it. And I just got a GoTech drive so that I can get, floppy data in and out of it without messing with floppies. But Dave, Amiga 1200, I'd sure like to have, especially with an accelerator, and I could use it on some music projects. I keep saying I'm going to do that with the 1000, but I keep saying, oh, I got to upgrade it and stuff first because it's slow as balls. Well, not really, but for trying to do anything modern on it, it's slow as balls. And then there are some really cool, like Amiga Next Gen. People are making, there's that Amiga 600 GS. You just get it. It's a little box, and it's like an Amiga 1200. And then they have that Amiga 1200 board now, but then you got to find a case and a keyboard, and I don't know. It's a rabbit hole. But interesting, Dave. I'm not the only one then that has a bunch of computers just laying around with the intention of using them someday. Troll with $2. He has no control over his mouth. That is correct, sir.
Cash money, bitches. Cash money.
But his mouth wants cash money so that he can jam his mouth full of gin and shitty fast food. I love how he says he eats healthy, too. Isn't it like at least twice a week he's eating garbage food on stream for his, moron dense Like, here's your reward. Watch me eat food that you're not able to afford because you gave me all your money.
Okay?
No one, like literally no one is talking to me. Everyone's having their own conversations about bullshit. What are you talking about?
Because you're
Guys,
boring.
if you're enjoying me playing Hollow Knight Silk Song, please support the stream. So far, we've had nearly no support, which is exactly, literally, what I said was going to happen because no one supports Metroidvania games. You told me I was wrong and I should play this game. That's why we're doing it tonight. Please support the stream.
And like I said, with my philosophy being, if I'm having a good time, you're having a good time, and everyone likes the content, then the support will come.
Yeah,
Guys,
you don't have to
All
beg.
right, when I
Phil.
beat this boss, let's get some support for the game. We're almost halfway through tonight's stream already, and all the support came in, I'm not even kidding you, before I started playing the game.
Yeah, we have to get 7 more to hit tonight's support goal, guys. Come on. Don't make me start begging and making deals. Like, what kind of deal can I make, right, to get this other 7 super chats?
Since I started playing the game, I received $1 of support.
But really, we got a $5 one from Tales of the Sonic Voyage on the stream that crashed. So really, we're at 9, meaning we only need 6 more.
Yeah, so this is starting to tell
God bless the goal. Hallelujah.
me what I thought about Metroidvanias. I'm just being honest, okay?
Abisho resubscribed for 13 months and said, Phil, you're boring. Thank you very much, Abisho. I appreciate that compliment. Thank you very much.
Now, guys, I don't even think I
advice.
have to say it,
Yes.
do I? I've been playing Silk Song for an hour. Before we started playing, I received
Yeah,
$20
got
of
a
support.
dollar.
I played for an hour, and I got $2 of support.
I'm gonna die pretty soon. I know I am.
You all said you were dying for me to play this. You all said to play Silk Song. You all said change the schedule around, get it in there. How dare I? Why would I be skipping
He's
Silk
having
Song,
his
the brand new
period,
game, to play
Arlene.
other
You're
games
right.
that are older games? This is what I should be playing. All right? Well, here we are.
He's the
Well, I'm
biggest
glad that you
video
like the game. I mean, like I said, I like it too. I know I like Metroidvanias. I want to make this clear. I like Castlevania. I like Metroid. I like games that try to emulate the formula of Castlevania and Metroid.
Maybe I can just cheese him right here. I might be able to cheese him in the corner.
Yeah, quality, positive content.
Oh my god, he changes forms. I cheese him in the corner, then he changes forms.
I find them entertaining. I find them interesting to explore. It's a little annoying when there's not auto checkpoint. I wish it was checkpoints outside of boss rooms in this game.
Yes,
So the backtracking's a little annoying. But at the very least, I do feel like this is a game where,
right, Bobby
even though it
Bologna.
feels kind of like Dark
Told me to
Souls,
play
that
this
will
game.
be
How come the
an
money
evolution as you
doesn't
get
just
more
fall
abilities and
out?
things. It'll be
Yeah.
better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it'll get better. You know, I cannot just play the game just for nothing. You know.
Trolly Troll Troll, 1 for the goal. Long-time show supporter, Trolly Troll Troll, chiming in. God bless the goal, Trolly Troll Troll.
I have no money. Why would you give that man money?
Well, I have some money now, thanks to Trolly Troll Troll. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 1 for the goal. And now we need 5 more to hit the goal tonight. And then we'll do an Ask Me Anything when we're done going through this cavalcade of beggary that I have assembled for us all.
What I mean, this is a business. We gotta find streams of games that people want, and we'll show up and support. Currently, people are showing up and supporting most of my games. Right now, the only one that's not getting support is Suikoden.
Yeah.
That's to be
You can't just
Spectral,
play it for
classic
nothing.
Japanese RPG.
Yeah.
I outright told you that I was skeptical about this game because it's a Metroidvania, and people do not usually show up and
You're
support
right.
Metroidvania.
Just a vessel
I'm being
for the
honest.
begging.
So,
He
you know,
said
this
that.
was a test stream.
He said he hates playing video games in those private messages to PPP. He told PPP he hates playing video games. He hates it. So PPP tried to give him 100 other options of what he could do for content. He wouldn't do any of them because he's lazy, you know? Yeah, his only hobby is WWE. Yeah. Well, that and drinking gin.
We got an hour left. If we do well and we get support in the next hour, then we'll play it again. If there's no support coming the next hour, then I'm not playing this again. And that's the end of it. And I don't want to hear a single person ask for it again. I'm serious. Because this is why I avoid these Metroidvania style games. This is why I didn't play Hollow Knight.
太恶心了，是为了这个，不是因为他们热爱他们正在做的事情，这不是因为热爱游戏或者因为他们是
He
真正
can
的游戏玩
even
家，
beg in
这
other
个
languages.
这就
Look
是
at
他变
that.
成的样子。这不是要拿出一个
Begging in
质量审
Japanese.
查，这不是要拿出一个高质量播放或高质量流，是关于做这个的。 这很可悲。
You get to watch him beg more, Trolley
Okay?
Troll.
It's not that I'm not willing to try stuff. It's that
His
people
hobby
don't
is
like
begging.
it. I don't know what to tell you. I can't make viewers show up and support a certain style of game
He
that they don't like.
defiled a
These
masterpiece.
have not worked.
Like
The only one that's ever
Silksong,
worked
yes.
was Metroid Dread. Well, Sabus GTA says this honestly is a fun watch, better than
Well,
the
you
other
got to
games in
make sure the
schedule.
Japanese
Okay,
fans can
cool.
know what
I'll
he's
support the stream
begging
then.
about.
Make it so that it's going to be worth it to play the game, especially
Right,
because I've heard it's a
Sam
very
Corbin.
long game.
His
right?
hobby is
No,
begging
I don't
for
have
money.
time to play games off stream because I'm on stream all day playing games, so I don't play games off stream. Nope.
No,
Well, I'm gonna post up because I'm not
for the
gonna have any.
begging.
I'm seriously not gonna have a single excuse. Everyone said they wanted this. Where are these people? So I'm gonna post up again on
I
Twitter.
love
I'm
what
gonna
he
post up
sees
again on my channel.
when he starts
This is
a new
it. We got an
game and
hour
it doesn't
left.
hit the goal.
If you
He
show up
sees.
and you put your money where your mouth is,
He
you're
gets
gonna
so
support the
mad.
stream. Great. If not, don't ask for this again. So let's see what happens.
We're having a great chill time
Yeah,
in
great show
Bass
time.
Master tonight, but sadly support is very slow, the slowest we've even seen on a Bass Master stream. I'd
It's always
love
the
to
slowest
add a
stream
new
he's ever done.
lure to the hat tonight, so if you can swing by and support, I'd appreciate it. Thanks.
So let's see what happens. We
Yeah.
got another hour again. Please support this
I'm
stream.
amazed he
There's
makes the
literally
money
almost
he
300
does.
of you on YouTube. There's over
Cola
100 of you on
lemonade.
Kick. You can support the stream if you actively choose.
I love when he does that too. There's this many of you watching. Why are you not? Yeah, let me try that, right? Let me try that. There's over 100 people watching. Why can't we get the 5 more to hit our goal? Gin is the devil's gasoline, says Echo. I agree with that, actually. Firewater. It's the firewater. Oh.
Not to, then don't ask for this game again. Okay?
Don't you guys dare ask me to play this game again.
Fuck that. I need a save
You're not
point.
paying me enough to play
There's
this
still,
game.
dude. If I die, I'm screwed. I'm never gonna get my stuff back, and there's no save point anywhere. Oh my god. What? A boss fight with no save point?
I do too. I'm not a fan of Jin, Sam Corbin.
Good is. Why is she fighting me? Oh, she's helping me? She's helping me.
It is funny.
Die, I don't know what's going on. Shit. Oh, come on, dude. That sucks. Look where the fuck I go. Dude, this is terrible. Why is there no fucking save point in this part of the game? So I went all the way over there.
Probably better
and
off,
I couldn't
Dave.
save. I was in
Yeah.
a cool fight, 2v1 fight, and I died and there's no fucking restore. That's awful. Why would you not put a save point there? Not my fault. Fuck this game. Well, guys, we got about a half an hour left on this
Yeah, come on,
premiere
guys.
stream
I
of
only have
Silk
30 more
Song.
minutes.
We got a lot of work to do. We're only at $30 to support.
To
So I don't know
twist your
if people are just messing with me or think it's funny, but I'm telling you right now, this was the test stream. So far, it's failing the test, and if we don't get support tonight, I'm not playing this ever again.
It's funny for
Nor am I
sure.
entertaining any requests for it. So, it is a tough game. I actually do like it. It is frustrating to die, but I know that I'll get better. I'll learn patterns. I'll do better. And we will persevere, much like any Dark Souls game. Okay. So we're up to $63 of support
63,
out of the 150
hold
goal
on.
with a half an hour left on stream, guys. So let's get some support. If you want to see me play and persevere through
on,
Silk Song,
guys.
I'm down for it. I
need
like the game,
another-
but we need people to support the stream. Let's
need
go
another
and
90
let's get some
bucks.
support right now.
Or I'm never playing this game again. Fuck this game.
I knocked over my. Oh no! What the? Oh no! Fuck.
What did he lose the controller or something?
Guys, this is it.
Yeah,
The last
I
10, 15
guess.
minutes of the stream. So we have about 10, 15 minutes to hit the goal. And if we don't hit the goal, I'm not playing this again. Because again, this was an experiment.
Here's an idea. Why don't you just keep playing it until you hit the goal, even if it takes 3 or 4 hours? You know, like I just don't understand him. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like, you guys better give me this $150 within the time frame I have allotted, or else.
And all I'm seeing right now is that my thoughts were absolutely true and correct, that people don't actually like Metroidvania games on my streams. Because if I can get, let me put it this way, if I can get more support for Suikoden 2, if I can get more support for Chronos, if I can get more support for Metal Gear Solid Delta, if I can get more support for Capcom vs. SNK 2, like every game I'm playing in the rotation has done better than this game did tonight, that means that no one wants this game. On my streams, I'm not saying it's a bad game. In fact, like I said, is it frustrating? Yes, but it's the kind of game that, like, it's rewarding when you overcome challenge, just like Dark Souls. So I'd be okay with that. It certainly would be a rage-filled playthrough, but I would be able to get through it and beat it for sure.
Why doesn't he see a
100%.
doctor about
It's just going to
that?
be a tough one,
Like,
but I would do it.
He clears his throat like that, like, all the time. Like, there's got to be something wrong. He needs an ear, nose, and throat specialist. And look at that. Dave just became a YouTube channel member. And like I always say, if you become a YouTube channel member during a live broadcast, we give you a big shout out and thank you. And so big shout out and thank you to Dave, and big ups to Dave for becoming a YouTube channel member. Thank you for the support.
Without going into specifics yet again, yeah, I have no money. I'm going to be honest here. I have no money right now.
Well, I have a little bit more thanks to Dave, who just became a member, and thank you. I appreciate your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. Let's continue the Beg Fest.
But not for this. Not for not even hitting half of a goal of support. So this is it. Last chance to support the stream.
What I will ask you, though, is, can you give me one more day? I'm not asking you for a week. I'm not asking you for a month. I'm not asking you for a year.
Give me one more day.
One more day.
One more day of begging.
Someone took $2
Yes.
says, please keep playing Silk Song. I will if we hit the goal, but we got to do it now.
That is
This is the
correct.
end of the stream. We're at $69, so get us to the goal of 150. I'll play it again. And someone is tipping $2 and saying we like Silk Song, but times
Wouldn't
are
that be
tough.
cool?
Well, then don't ask
Like,
for Silk
give
Song.
us some cash.
If people
Uh-huh.
can support
Yes.
other games, then obviously times aren't that tough. And people are supporting every other game I played. And I
He is
suspected this would happen, and it did. So
I
that's
agree, Epion.
Okay.
Yes.
Every time. It never fails.
So here's the thing. I definitely like the game. I do. I actually enjoy the game, and I wouldn't mind playing it more, but I can't. I have to play what people want, and it's apparent from tonight.
I
the
can't
only
just
people
play
who showed
any
up
game.
tonight, there's
I
a
can
few
only
people who
play
like the game,
games
and
where
thanks to
people
those who
give
did
me
support
money.
it.
Yeah.
Mostly troll viewers watching to see if I'm going to hit the goal, and it's going to continue. Very little support. Literally, this is the least supported stream that I have had of all the games I'm playing. Earlier today, I played Suikoden 2 and had more support. So exactly what I feared would happen happened with Silk Song. This is why I didn't have it in the schedule. I know people just don't come out for Metroidvanias and support them. They don't. And people don't like them. So once again, this is what? Like the millionth one I've tried. Like I said,
if you knew that,
I tried.
why did you try this in the first place then? If you're only here for the money, then just play the games that you're sure people will give you the money for. Every time he tries a new game, he pumps it up like, we really got to get support. We're not going to keep playing this. And then he doesn't hit the goal, and then he sees. It's like a endless cycle of retardation with this guy.
My best. And I want to say thanks to those who were here tonight and those who watch it on demand, but it is what it is. What can I do? Right? I gave it a shot. I laid out exactly the criteria.
It's a privilege to support
And
his streams.
we all see what happens. It's in black and white. It's not disputable. People don't want Silk Song, or they would have come by and supported this stream.
New
They did
business
not.
model.
No, Bloom Kit,
no,
listen.
he'll
this is
blow
Chronos
that,
missed the
and
goal,
then he'll
give
be
Silk
right
Song
back
another
to
chance.
begging the
Chronos
next
missed a
week.
goal on the first stream, then it hit a goal on its second stream. It got really close. So basically, Chronos is doing good in general. It's not hitting a goal every stream, but it's doing good. This was the test stream for the game.
Yep,
The test stream. And it failed the test stream.
He
Okay?
ruined it.
And
Yes,
that's
he did.
terrible. That's such a terrible thing.
Listen, I'm still here and no one's contributing. So what do you want me to do? I'm still here. I stayed extra late. I got to get the fuck out of here. I'm tired. I can't stay here late every night. I just can't.
Oh,
I've been in
yeah.
here in this fucking office every night super late. I should be spending time with my wife. I'm tired of this shit.
Who thinks he really spends time with his wife when he's not streaming? I think he ignores her most of the time. I don't think, he's always like, I got to get out of here, guys. Why not stay an extra hour, right? And just hang out with your audience and be kind to them instead of being mean and nasty and bitchy. I didn't get enough money tonight, guys. I got to go.
All right, guys, everyone, please have a good night. I will see you tomorrow for Chronos, and I'll see you tomorrow for Gears of War. Have a good night.
The next day he's going to be the begging knob will be turned up to 12, right? Today was at a 10 for the new game he's trying, and he doesn't hit the goal, and he seethes all night about it. And then the next day he starts bitching and moaning and crying and complaining until he gets that money the next day, right? Stick with some and avoid the pit bulls. Yeah, it is exhausting. It's exhausting to watch him. And yes, I believe that his wife ignores him. Yeah. But I kind of been there myself. Sometimes my wife just doesn't want to be bothered,
Enough with if we hit 100 one more stream. We hit the goal now, or we don't play the game again, period. There's no negotiation. There's no bullshit. Either contribute now, or we don't see the game again. Too bad. This was
You guys had your chance to give me the money.
laid out ahead of time. None of this nonsense. None of this fucking around. All right? I'm tired of it, quite frankly.
I want that money.
I'm tired of people trying to mess around. Oh, yeah, well, I'll wait till the last minute and then I'll... Blah, blah. No. You should have supported, because now what's going to happen is people will complain. You have no right. There is absolutely no right whatsoever to complain that we're not playing this game again. I laid down the criteria.
You guys have no right to complain. No right to complain. I told you what the ransom was for me to continue playing this game, and you didn't give it to me, so fuck all of you. That's the translation, really.
No one did it. What do you want me to do? All right. That's it.
How about you just... Does he not understand, like, the law of averages, right? Like, if 5 days he gets the 150 goal twice in a day, and then one time he only gets $65, is it he acts like it's the end of the world if he doesn't get the money that he wants every single day, right? He acts like it's the end of the world. Somebody is messaging me that I didn't check in with the kick support, and they are correct, and I apologize. So we'll check in with that. The kick support has been the slowest kick supported stream ever, guys. I mean, this has just been the lowest supported stream ever. But we do have Sun Hat Girl has gifted a sub over on Kick. So thank you and big ups to Sun Hat Girl. I love that user ID. It makes me think of I don't know why, but it's making me think of a girl in a sundress in the middle of summer with the sun hat on. Maybe it's supposed to, right? But thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. And we love all you Kick supporters. Please let's get some more. Thanks for the support, Sun Hat Girl.
But let's face it also, money talks.
Yes, money does talk. And I'm happy to announce that as of tomorrow, all of the Kick chats, including when somebody gives a sub, I think, should be aggregated in my live chat, so I'll be able to share it on screen. And I thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. And then we've got Urban Terra with one for the goal. Hang in there, Steven. Fight the crystal hippie bitch nut job. Oh, I plan to. She has no idea what's going to happen next. She messed with the wrong reporter. And just to be clear, so everybody understands what happened, I got body cam footage from the police, which is public record, about an incident she was involved in which she gave people illegal drugs and took them herself and had a very bad trip and had a psychotic breakdown so bad that they had to sedate her with ketamine, and she's yelling and screaming at the cops that she's dying and the paramedics are trying to kill her. And I'm sure it was incredibly embarrassing for her, but she sure lashed out against me, and not just me, against even my wife and my children. But thank you for your kindness. Urban Terror is a longtime show supporter. Great to see you here. Thank you for your kindness and good advice.
Cash money, bitches. Cash money.
You Kick viewers don't even want to hit the goals, says Can You Read My Deadpan? You want more Dark Side Phil, don't you? Then we better hit the goal, bitch. Yeah. And I guess I should count the kick subs towards the goal. I don't know how to do it like Phil does. He's got like an autistic ability to count every penny coming in from 5 different sources. I don't do that. We just have the goal for the YouTube chat. But then it feels like we hit the goal even when we don't, because like we got 6 gifted subs, that's $30. And we got a gifted kick sub, so 35 more than what it really is reading on the goal. I don't know. Maybe I have to redo the way that we do this. And thank you, Holler Dollar. 1 for the goal. Keep fighting the good fight. Lost a relative to the psychic nonsense. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that.
Dude, I'm going to make so much money. This is insane.
Yeah, and the reason I did that show, Holler Dollar, is because somewhere around a year ago, I said that this woman and her so-called shamanic psychic practices are very dangerous to the public. And I even verbalized that my concern about her is that she's going to really hurt somebody, maybe even kill somebody with the poisons that she's just giving out to her clients and dangerous illegal drugs that she apparently knows nothing about, especially even when it comes to how much you're supposed to give somebody or what the dose should be. Because obviously, if she knew about that, she wouldn't have given them an amount so much that caused them to be hospitalized. So that's the reason I did that show, is to, highlight that this woman is a public health hazard. But thank you, Holler Dollar. And I love that. I love that. Holler Dollar.
I have no money. Why would you give that man money?
Well, Holler Dollar made sure I have a little bit. And not my rabbit hole. Terry Joyce is here and says, yes, exactly. 100% these fake fuckers doing more damage than good. Yeah, she's only benefiting her pocket. She's not benefiting people, Let's finish off this one and we'll go to the last video.
We're done. So tomorrow, no podcast. Chronos on the first stream. Gears on the late stream. See you tomorrow.
And we're 4 away from the goal, friend. All right. Okay. 1 moment. Let's get the last one going. And this one is DSP crashes out for 40 minutes on YouTube for his failures. So during this, he basically blames YouTube for the whole reason why his show sucks. Steve gets more money from Kick support than what YouTube takes, so sub over there. Yeah, good idea. I'm not really supposed to say that. For those unaware, YouTube takes a big chunk of the support and Kick takes a very, very small chunk. So we appreciate the Kick support, because to me, as soon as we started on Kick, it was like getting an extra paycheck every month. Imagine you're used to getting 4 paychecks a month, and then you just suddenly start getting an extra paycheck every month. It really, really does help. And I love the Kick platform so far. Software problems aside, I think it's a great platform and I highly recommend it. So thank you all for the support, both on Kick and YouTube. And you Patreon supporters, YouTube channel members, people buying me a beer. We'll check in with the PayPal support. For those unaware, you can send a PayPal to trueseekershow@gmail.com. And that is a great platform, again, because they take a very, very tiny percentage of it. So I always encourage people, especially if you want to send a large amount, please do it through PayPal or Kick. And thank you all for the support, regardless of how you support us.
Week, is it not? Thank you guys so very much. Okay, now.
So this is the Level 1 podcast, and he's been stuck on Level 1 for 15 years now. He cannot get to Level 2. This is the board meeting where he goes over everything, and, it's like a mid-level manager meeting. Right? Come on, guys. We have to start hitting goals,
I have a major topic to talk about today. Okay? It's something that we have been discussing.
Yeah, it's like YouTube doesn't even want me to hit the goal.
To be across the board. It's not just me. It's not just certain creators. Across the board, across all of YouTube, there has been a distinct noticing of a declining amount of views.
It's called the summer slump.
And everyone's been scratching their head trying to figure out, why is everyone's views down? Okay, for me, I am seeing it. It's not a humongous problem or anything for me, because as I've explained to you last week.
Yeah, the thing is with him is he makes almost no money on ad revenue. All of his money is from begging for morons to tip him and donate to him. 18 years. You are correct. Thank you for the correction, Terry is Gaming. Yes, you are correct. Stuck on level 1 for 15 years. I pissed myself. Yeah, and come on. And that was, who was it that said that to him? Keemstar said, dude, you've been stuck at level 1 at doing this thing, content creation, for like 18 years. I have, and he changed the name of his podcast to Level 1 Podcast because he thinks level 1 is the top. I don't know. It's stupid. But Keemstar's right. And then what a moron he is, because he gets an opportunity to go on Kino Casino and get a huge bump of support. And he did. And then he turned on them like a lunatic, like a moron, right? And now they want him on, Keem wanted him on Locale Live, and he made all kinds of excuses and didn't want to do it. Like, he's his own worst enemy, this guy. I honestly, I don't like Locale, and I watched Locale Queens for a while Grace Thorpe and Lynx were on there. I don't know why, but I found those two particularly entertaining. By the way, they'll be joining me on the Internet Insanity Circus as co-hosts, rotating co-hosts. But I don't really enjoy Locale Live content or Keemstar. I think it's too fake and made up shit. It's a little too Jerry Springer. But if Keem messaged me, or one of his people messaged me and said, hey, we want you to come on the show, I would say, what time do I have to be there? Absolutely. Because I know I would get a fucking bump. This guy is a fucking moron. He'd rather just beg the few people that he has left that actually support him like a crackhead, instead of finding new viewers and new supporters. And by the way, cards on the table, I like to find new supporters, because I start feeling like a certain kind of way when I start like breaking things down and going, wow, it really is a lot of the same people that are throwing money at me every night. And like, I'd like to get more people so that those people can take a break and let the new people support. You know what I mean? He has no concept of that. And he also has no concept that it's not a bottomless pit. Your few supporters, Phil, they don't have unlimited money. There's only so much money they have to give you, and I don't know about my audience here, but I throw creators that I like a super chat once in a while, but it's not very often. So I don't have a lot of money to give to one specific creator to support them or whatever. I don't know.
The vast majority of my support comes from the live streams. You guys doing super chats, memberships, subs over on Kick, which
in other
I
words,
emphasize
from
because we
begging.
haven't had a sub yet. And it would be great to get our first sub of the week on Kick right now. It would be amazing to get a sub for support right now on Kick.
Yeah. Brokey Beer and Gin.
Right now.
Suffer Wallet. Yeah, he thinks this works. Just hold the stream hostage.
As in, at this moment that I'm mentioning it.
Get some money. Right?
Live on stream. Our first sub of the week.
Who's Ryan?
Now.
And why is he giving that clown that much money then, Ender Dragon? Look at this.
Okay, I guess we're not going to get the first sub of the week. I had to try.
You had to try.
I had to try.
You had to try to twist the arms and bitch and moan and cry and complain. Yeah, Phil, you did.
Anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, I make the vast majority of my income via live streams. Okay.
Via begging. Yes.
So we got our first sub of the week from Squirt Rocks. Thank you, Squirt Rocks, for the gifted sub over on Kick. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, only iced coffee.
Let's get that on the leaderboard. Very nice.
Tell him to come over here. I'll all but blow him if he gives me that kind of money, right? I'll give him plenty of attention. He doesn't have to be in a loser stream. He can come over here.
And Final Wish just gifted 20 memberships. 20 memberships to the community. So now we have memberships too. Did I spell the name right this time?
That's $105 in 2 minutes. And he's still going to beg like a fucking crackhead for the whole rest of this
20 memberships. That is the equivalent of $60 of support.
No.
So just like that, we are
it is 60. I'm sorry.
265 out of 300. Pretty crazy. Thank you. Thank you, Final Wish. Really appreciate that. Thank you so very, very much.
At this point.
All right. Wow. So we're almost up to 2 goals already. I mean, that's pretty
Oh,
crazy
they're
that we're almost up to
trans?
2
Is
goals
that
on
what
the
you
stream
mean,
already.
Curious
And
Gaming?
then, like I said, only one more goal and it'll be DSP tries it. I'm thinking tonight, hopefully people will do what they said they were going to do and show up and support American Truck Sim, and then we could do DSP tries it tomorrow. That'd be amazing. All right, well, congrats everyone who's getting gifts right now and enjoying them, whether it's the 1 sub on Kick or the 20 memberships on YouTube. I hope
You're
you all
right.
enjoy.
You're right.
Ortega says, how are you today? I'm
Yes.
doing good. I'm excited
Yes.
for a shortened week, but still a great week of content that I'm going to be putting out. And thank you guys for being here this morning. Excuse me. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I could pull a Dark Side Phil and say we need 4 more, and we only have 36 minutes left on the goal. Don't you want to see us hit the goal, bitch? Don't you want to bless the goal with your lovely $5? Come on. What about the kick support? We've only gotten 1 kick sub all night long, right? Don't you want to save me from the horrors of the Brokey beer? Look into Dr. Glove's true crime case. It's very interesting. I will take a look at that. I'll make a note of it. Thank you, Count Bloodsucker. I'm always looking for new stories.
as you can see, the vast majority of my income comes from live streaming. Okay? There is some of my income that comes from on-demand video views. All right, there is, admittedly. And that's the ad revenue. You know, ads running on my videos and people watching. The thing is, I'm no longer a big YouTuber. You know, I bring in roughly like 500,000 views a month here on this channel. So the viewership's decent, but that's not like if it were my full-time job to make on-demand videos, I would not be able to make a living with 500,000 views a month, to be fair.
I don't think he gets 500,000 views a month.
Because you guys support my streams, I make a good living. All right, and thank you again. Thank you all so much for that. But this has been something.
Yeah, thank you for hearing the call of the beg.
Sadly, there are creators who rely on the on-demand ad revenue, notably people who aren't live streamers, but instead people who make video essays, people who do in-depth videos that are like reviews or breakdowns, daily vloggers and news people, that kind of stuff. They're putting out videos and they need people to watch the videos and make ad revenue on them.
Well,
and what's happening right now is views are declining across the board.
That's not true.
And this is leading not only to a dip in what people are worried about revenue, but also if your views go down, that doesn't look good publicly. So what if you're a big YouTube channel that typically gets 10 million views a month, and all of a sudden now you're only getting 6? Well, what happened to your channel?
Most people would just make more content to compensate for the difference and keep, you know, moving the wheel. Not Phil. He's just going to cry and complain that evil YouTube is stopping me. And by the way, I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast here that my views are down, but I accept responsibility. I know why my views are down. It's because all summer I was fucking off a lot, spending time with my family, and I wasn't producing anywhere near as much content as I do during fall and winter, especially. In the winter, I produce a lot more content. I'm inside. I don't want to go outside. It's freezing, you know? So I know why my views are down. I don't blame YouTube for it. And, you know, sometimes, though, I do think they do something to the algo and my recommends go down and therefore my views go down. There are things that are beyond your control. But generally, as a content creator, if your views are down for the month, you make more videos to compensate or to make up for it. He's too lazy to do that, right? And all of his ideas are stupid. Like, I'll just review cologne, right? Like, or cooking videos or some other nonsense that nobody in his audience wants to see.
Now,
if people were there to see him do video game content, then couldn't he just like do a stream where he shows screenshots of and talks about a game? He doesn't even have to play it. He can just talk about video game history once a week and games that changed the industry. I could do that, and I'm no expert. Master Betty, thank you for your kindness. He barely gets 400 viewers on his stream, period. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, right?
The dollar signs are too powerful for a lot of people, man.
But not for me, and thank you, Master Betty, for your kindness, generosity, and support. Much appreciated. And we have Era. Oh, I missed one, too. I'll get to it. Thank you, Trolly Troll. He's not exactly wrong. YouTube changed the algorithm so it now more aggressively hides restricted content. Most creators addressed it and moved on. Very good point, A-Ra. And thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support.
Dude, I'm going to make so much money. This is insane.
And Troll, I almost missed you. Never want to do that. Troll is a big-time show supporter, and thank you for that. Only 3 more to go, guys. Less than that now. We need 2 more to hit the goal, and we'll do an Ask Me Anything after we get through this Beg Fest. But thank you, Troll, with 1 for the goal and your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. Much, much, much appreciated.
But let's face it also, money talks.
Yes, and thank you, Troll, for making your money talk to me and encouraging others to make their money talk to me. 2 from the goal. 220 subscribers on YouTube. Take that into consideration. Yeah, how am I not complaining about ad revenue? I got less than 20,000 subscribers, and it's not a huge amount of money, but the ad revenue certainly helps. It's a chunk of my income from YouTube every month. Yeah, let's get some super chats. Holler dollar. I agree. Let's get some super chats, and we'll hit the goal and do the Ask Me Anything. Let's continue with the begging fest.
Sirs might look at your channel and look like, well, I used to give this guy sponsorships, but his channel's in decline, so I'm not going to offer them the sponsorship anymore. So this could be a huge problem.
It's
okay?
up and down.
So what's happened is people have been seeking answers.
I don't know. My channel goes up and down. Sometimes I have a crazy month where we
in
get
the last month because it looks like there's
tons more views than usual, and then it takes a nosedive for a little while.
A big dip out of nowhere.
Peaks and valleys.
Here's the thing.
He doesn't understand
YouTube
this.
has said nothing about it. YouTube didn't say, oh, we changed the algorithm.
Yeah,
views will count differently. And in fact, prominent YouTubers have reached out to YouTube and asked YouTube what's going on, to which they've received the response, nothing, we don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that's interesting.
No exaggeration. You reach out to YouTube creator support.
You probably won't.
They say they don't know
profitable
anything.
to look into those people.
They know nothing at all. Okay.
And then they attack your children and your family when you do. You know, besides the current situation, there's also Corey Good is so stupid that he didn't realize that when you look at somebody's LinkedIn profile, it tells them, like, for example, if I went to Master Betty, I don't know what Master Betty's real name is, but for example, if I went to Master Betty's LinkedIn and looked at Master Betty's LinkedIn under Master Betty's real name, it would tell Master Betty, Stephen Cambion viewed your profile. So Corey Good was stalking my wife on LinkedIn. She showed me the screenshot, and she was very angry about that. Like, why is this weirdo UFO loser scammer looking at my LinkedIn? She was very upset about that. It happened some time ago. You are doing God's work, says Echo. Yes, it is a good point. Check the kick side. All right. We will check it. 1 second. To Be Flair gifted a sub. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. To Be Flair checking in on the kick side. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. I'm going to make so much money. Thank you.
Dude, I'm going to make so much money. This is insane.
Thank you, To Be Flair. And to those in the Kick Chat, you're always free to do that. I'll check in on the Kick Chat, occasionally. But if you do gift a sub or become a subscriber on Kick, jump over to the YouTube chat, put it in all capital letters, and just put, I just supported you on Kick. And I will look over there and give you a big shout out and a thank you, just like I just did. And we appreciate the Kick support very, very much. Thank you, To Be Flair. Did she block him? Yes, I believe so. But it's just creepy. Why is this guy creeping up on my wife's LinkedIn, And I'm not kidding you. I know for a fact that people have hired private investigators to try to find dirt on me after I felt at them or exposed their scams or whatever. They retaliate, and maybe if people are going to retaliate, especially against my wife and family, I don't want to do those kind of shows anymore. I don't want to put my family in any jeopardy or danger or even upset my wife. She has nothing to do. She has no idea what I do. I mean, really, once in a while, like when I did this Murder in UFO Land series, it was true crime related, even though it involved UFO wackadoos that killed somebody. she likes murder stories, so she tuned into those, but she has very little idea what it is that I actually do. And I know she has no interest. So you know how some of you may talk to your wife about what you did at work that day? I generally don't do that, or try not to. Sometimes I vent to her, but and she's an accountant, so I do get to occasionally hear all about her adventures in accounting and spreadsheets and problems and things. That's part of being married, I guess. But I try to not bore her with my bullshit, because she doesn't even understand what I do or what's going on, and she doesn't understand that whole conspiracy world like people into it do.
YouTubers have taken the matter into their own hands to figure out. All right, and I don't blame them at this point. If you're seeing something that could majorly affect your business.
Well, somebody commented early. They stopped aggressively recommending restricted content, and so most people just stopped making videos that would be affected by that, so that they would not be affected by the dip.
You need to take matters into your own hands. I've had to do it before. I've had situations where I've had false copyright strikes, fake memberships, other bullshit, and I had to figure it out for myself, because there was no other way to do it. YouTube doesn't
You're right.
help you. They just don't.
Phil's dad is getting stalked.
So anyway, hold on
I'm
one
sure
second.
he probably is getting stalked on LinkedIn by detractors. Yeah.
Someone tipped $2 as gasps. Sorry, sire. I was looking for this.
Tim Curley
sub, but
says,
I
"Let's
didn't find
go.
him. I'll make
2
sure
more
he hits the
super
gallows
chats to
tomorrow."
make the goal."
I have no idea what that's in reference to, but thank
Yeah.
you for $2.
And
I'm
hey, if
lost.
you're a viewer of
I guess
mine,
it's supposed
go
to be a
into your
reference or a joke,
settings
I
and
don't
allow
get it.
restricted content.
Anyway, thanks for $2.
Please
All
do
right.
that. Let's help some other content creators as well that do,
Okay.
controversial content. And YouTube is funny about a lot of weird stuff. Sometimes they just decide, like, for example, if I do a story exposing someone as a PDF file, that is not monetizable. It's almost as if they don't want to encourage people to know who the creepy kitty touchers are. It's weird, Maybe that's just been my experience, but anything too controversial, demonetized, Luckily, we stay away from politics and stuff, because that's another one that they get demonetized. Like, if you make a video supporting some political thing that YouTube doesn't want or doesn't support, they, won't support that. You got to understand the host and the platform that you're on. They're very one-sided when it comes to the political debates and things.
But before we get into the topic, Diamond actually just asked me a very pertinent question, okay? Diamond just asked me in chat, well, Phil, do you actually believe that YouTube doesn't know what's going on? That they really have no clue either what's causing the view dip? Here's the truth. Here's what I think. I don't have anything to corroborate this.
Yes,
All I have
2
is
more
17
super
years of
chats to
history as
make the
YouTuber.
goal. Don't you want to
YouTube
hit the
is
goal,
run
bitches?
in a way that basically a very small group of people control the entire site, but those are not the people that talk to anyone, okay? There's the upper management way up
He's
here.
a YouTube
the
expert
people
now.
in charge of YouTube.
I don't think he's
who
accurate
make all
here.
the decisions in a boardroom every day. And then there's the people who are right under them, the middle managers, and then there's the coders. All those people are at the top of YouTube, and none of them have transparency whatsoever to anyone who uses the website. I want you to think about
transparency.
that, okay?
What?
They run the site. They're in charge of it. They make decisions on a daily basis that could make or break entire businesses that are based on the site, but they have no direct communication to anyone who actually uses their site.
Are you
Instead,
kidding me?
they've employed a group of
Good Times
customer
Island?
service
What?
representatives, creators,
Is that
support
real? Can you read
agents
my deadpan?
who aren't based in the United States. They're over in the Middle
I gotta
East. They're
check
over in
this.
India, wherever you want to say. You can tell because if you talk to them, half the time they don't speak proper English or they're just copy pasting form letters. This is not me trying to be racist. I'm telling you my experience with them. Like, you'll explain something to them in plain English and they have absolutely no idea what you just said. They are flabbergasted and confused. They can't understand a
Well,
conversation
that's a
in
channel,
English.
Good Times Island.
But then they'll give you form letter responses that you can tell they're copy pasting out of a notebook somewhere. They don't know what you're talking about. Okay? So it's pretty sad because that's who you have to work with. Like, there was times when I told you guys this story. There was a few years ago.
Oh, the one thing I will say is that I think one of the very frustrating parts of YouTube sometimes for creators is that you don't, until you're a huge channel, it's not like you could call somebody if you have a problem or a concern or an issue that they should be aware of. That I will say. Like, I always feel like my destiny here is in the hands of an AI algorithm, And by the way, praise the YouTube AI algorithm. May you find favor in what we create here for you. Oh, exalted AI algorithm God, please help my channel and recommend it more. This is my daily prayer to you, AI overlord. In Google's name we pray. Amen. I mean, sometimes that's all you can do. It's so stupid, right? You just got to hope that they, jack your channel up a little or help you a little bit. Can I get a little boost there, Google? What?
I found a horrible exploit in YouTube. Okay? Now, I've never
I don't
talked
believe
about
this.
it, and I'm never going to.
He's never going to
'Cause I
tell
don't
you
know
what
if
it
YouTube ever
is.
closed this
I know about it, but I'm not going
But
to
I
tell you
found a
about it.
heinous exploit by which people could actually do heinous things on YouTube. I contacted creator support and I provided them with a ton of evidence
Well, that
about
I agree
it.
with. Can you read
and
my
talking to
deadpan?
them is like
Yeah.
talking to a deer in headlights. They had no fucking clue what I was talking about. They didn't
Yes,
even know what
praise
was
the
on a
YouTube
screen
AI
or anything.
overlords.
They don't know. They
Yes.
don't use the site. They're just line level employees over in the Middle East or India who don't understand
If Phil
English.
knows about
and
anything,
they don't
he
even know
never
what you're
shuts
talking
up about it. That is correct.
What do you mean this screen? What do you mean this thing? Can you screenshot it? Can you screenshot it? Can you screenshot it? Can you screenshot it? So you send them 17, 18 screenshots and they still don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's correct.
But it's horrible. So
Gaming
the
the
truth
advertisers
is,
are the customers of YouTube. We are the product.
I would guarantee
That's correct.
you
viewers.
100% that whatever YouTube has done to change views, okay, that there's this big decline in views, that the upper echelon of YouTube knows all about it.
20
They're the
minutes
ones who
left
wanted
on the
this
goal.
change.
2
They're
to
the ones who
go.
told their coders to institute it. The coders rolled it out properly as they were told, but there's just zero transparency on YouTube. YouTube changes the algorithm regularly and never
Yes,
tells
that's correct.
anyone.
I'm an affiliate.
So
Anybody
you
that's
could be doing
monetized
something
is an
incredibly
affiliate.
well and being rewarded for it, and then the next day you do the same thing and it gets absolutely no attention and you get nothing for it. Well, what did I do wrong? Nothing. YouTube just decided to change. They've done this so many times over the years. There was the time when they decided longer videos with longer watch time will bring in better advertisers. Therefore, we're going to reward people who make longer videos, and we're actually going to
That part's true. They did do that.
take shorter videos and just brush them under the rug. They won't show up in the algorithm anymore. That's why all of my old body of work doesn't show up anymore. Videos like Spider-Man Web of Shadows,
No, it's because it
Spider-Man
sucks.
Shattered Dimensions, playthroughs that had millions and millions of views. My
Fedora,
Resident Evil 5
I like
DLC,
Debian.
Lost in
Can you
Nightmares,
read
that
my
had millions and
deadpan?
millions of views.
I'm a
These
Debian
videos would
fan.
bring in tens of thousands of views a month, and then they went to zero because YouTube
Or
changed
Arch
the
Linux,
algorithm
but
and no
Arch
one can find
Linux
it.
is a slog sometimes.
Now, perhaps YouTube's going the other way because the rumor is that now everything's about the instant
Yeah,
gratification.
even so, he
Everything wants
didn't
to
even
emulate how
attempt to
TikTok
adapt.
works.
That's the
So
problem.
now, if
yeah.
you make shorter videos, maybe now those videos get more ads and more revenue and things like that, right?
YouTube Shorts make no
We're not
money
sure.
whatsoever.
We don't know,
It's
but
crazy.
that's what it seems. That's the direction that they're going.
Debian
By the
for
way,
the
is YouTube
win,
chat
says
working?
Bobby Bologna. Yeah.
YouTube chat has not moved in 3 minutes. Are you guys all right on YouTube? Is everything okay?
They're just
Or did the
bored
chat
and
crash?
not
Is the chat-
engaging
Is the stream even working?
because they're bored as shit.
Everyone on Kick is talking, but it seems like the YouTube
Yeah.
viewers fell asleep.
The problem
You
isn't
guys
that
all right?
YouTube changed the algo; it's that Phil just sucks. That is correct, sir. Phil does suck.
So here's the thing. Okay, now it's moving. Okay.
I've been using Debian forever, so I kind of
So here's
maybe
the
I'm
thing. So
partial
now-
to it.
oh, by the way, I
or
have a couple shout-outs to do that I will in a
Debian-based
second.
distros.
So now,
Like Mint.
everyone's trying to speculate
I used
what is
Mint for
causing the
years
video
and
view
years
drop.
and years and years.
Well,
In your
as
case,
you
Phil,
all
it's
know,
that your
everything
show
happens when I'm
sucks.
off. Everything happens on my day off, right? Historically, it's always on my day off. So Let me get to that, but let me do 2 shout outs. Daddy Big Bucks resubbed for 3 months on Kick.
Daddy Big Bucks.
So thank you, Daddy Big Bucks, for that.
Daddy Big Bucks.
And Garfield Guy 20 did a $2 super chat. Are you excited for the new Mario movie? No, because I didn't like the first Mario movie, and I think that the next one will be more of the same. Maybe I'm wrong and it'll be great, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, okay. Troll with 5 and 1 for the goal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you, Troll. Long-time show supporter says, come on, guys. You don't want to see Steven lose his house, do you? Just kidding. Keep a stiff upper lip, mister. I think you meant lip, not life. Yeah, and we only need 1 more to hit the support goal for tonight. 1 more super chat of 5 or more. And remember that every time somebody sends me money, Phil cries and suffers. Don't you want to see Darkside Phil suffer?
Suffer, Phil. Suffer.
Thank you, Troll, for your kindness, generosity, and long-time show support. It is much, much appreciated.
Dude, I'm going to make so much money. This is insane.
Thank you, Troll. 1 for the goal, and I'll check in. And we have, we got it. We've gotten it. We've gotten it. Tina T chiming in with 5 and 1 for the goal. We had hit the goal, my friends. And Tina T says, for the goal. Absolutely.
Cash money, bitches. Cash money.
All right.
Cash money, bitches. Cash money.
Double cash money. Thank you, Tina T. And you know what? I'm going to pull a Dark Side Phil. So we've hit the goal for tonight, but now we got to hit a second goal. So I'll set up a set. No, I won't. But we appreciate any support, and I will continue to read every super chat and thank everybody who donates any support, whether you do it on Kick. I'll check back in with the Kick chat right now, or do it on Buy Me a Coffee or a PayPal pledge. It is much, much appreciated. Nothing new on the Kick side. I will check in with the, what am I going to check in with? Oh, with the PayPal pledges. For those unaware, you can always send a PayPal pledge to truthseekershow@gmail.com. So if you have a PayPal account, just send money, all the money you have, all the money you can, to truthseekershow@gmail.com. Make sure that you add a note. We always do thank people for their kindness, generosity, and support. And I want to thank everybody for the PayPal pledges, because I was able to. I've been trying to find this is a stupid story, but I'm going to tell it. My father was a big time camping, outdoorsman, fisherman kind of guy, and taught me all that stuff and love for all that stuff. And when we were kids, he had this old Coleman cooler, but it didn't go this way. It went this way, like a refrigerator, like a small refrigerator. And it had this tray in it. And when we went winter camping, even if we were in a cabin or renting a cabin with a fireplace, he would just go and put snow into this compartment that slides in the top of this special cooler, and then it had trays underneath, and it was a pretty big, it was kind of like a mini fridge size, and it stood this way, not this way, and I can't remember what they call it. I'll see if I can't find Coleman upright cooler. In any case, I've been looking for one of the. Oh, I found it. I found it. Oh, no, that's not it. Damn. I knew it wasn't going to be that easy. Oh, wait, let me just go to images. I'm sure there's an image of it somewhere. Okay, I got it. Oh, yeah, I got it right on eBay. So look, I'll show you. I have been looking for one of these because my dad had one, and it's got these trays in it, and you put it right. You can put it down the other way and use it as a normal cooler, but my dad and me and my brother, we always used it going up, and so it's basically, if you know what an ice box is, and in the olden days, people had a big box that was insulated inside their house, and they would put ice in the top of it, and then the cold air would filter down from the ice, and it basically works like a refrigerator. At the new cabin, everything is off grid. There's no power there. So I'm only going to be doing overnight trips at the new cabin or weekends. So if I take a couple bags of ice with me, there's my refrigerator. And anyway, I recently was able to find one of these bitches on eBay, and I paid for it with the PayPal funds. So that's one huge thing off my list of things to worry about at the new cabin. And it will take no power. I just take some ice in with me when I go to that cabin, and I'd be good for a couple of days with just a bag of ice. And keep your food refrigerated, and of course keep your drinks and beer cold as well. So I want to thank you, PayPal pledgers, because I was able to find one on eBay, and then I was able to finally get one. That thing works so good, and I remembered that from my dad. He was a Cub Scout master and a Boy Scout master. He was great at little hacks like that. So I'm so happy to get that. It's not here yet, but it'll be here next week. Thank you all. I appreciate it. It's nice to have the PayPal money.
In regards to this, okay, so here's the deal. Ladies and gentlemen, I cracked the case. During my day off, I could have been spending time with my wife. I could have been spending time with Jasper Kitty. I could have been.
I agree with you, Kenny. Read my deadpan.
I was at work for you, cracking this case. I put in an insane amount of arduous work.
Yeah, right.
Time investment.
He Googled
effort,
for 3 minutes.
And ladies and gentlemen, I am here to tell you that I personally have gotten to the bottom of this issue.
I doubt it.
By watching this video that someone sent me to watch and skimming through it.
Oh, yeah. He really worked hard on this.
Okay. So full credit goes to Josh Strife Hayes.
Yeah, I use Windows for gaming.
Who actually
can use Linux
went
now.
deep into this issue and actually figured out
Linux from scratch or nothing, says the redneck preppy.
He found concrete evidence, and now other YouTubers have
maybe
run
are
with
glutton
this
of
story and are all looking at
punishment.
their analytics and confirming it. Okay, so here's the deal, and there's ways that we can show it. We could look at a big YouTuber, and we
hello,
can look at
Pukali is here. Now it's a party.
The story
Welcome,
actually
Pukali.
jives. All right. So first, let's take a look at Moist Critical. Okay, this is Moist Critical's YouTube analytics. Okay, and as you can see, they're covering a time range here of July, August into September, which is right now.
Well, that works, Archaic
Okay,
Revival. Unfortunately, I don't have a river or a creek near
So
me,
this date right here is August 10th, 2025. Okay.
I agree with
now,
you.
As you'll see right here,
I would never do that without an experienced
YouTube breaks
person
down
with us.
video views into 4 different categories. All right. Computer, TV, mobile phone, and tablet.
That's always
what
done
I'm
that.
assuming
and phone
is that it can identify how you're watching, and dependent on how you're watching, it probably delivers advertisements differently. Like an ad that runs well on a mobile phone versus an ad that might run better on a computer versus an ad that might run on a tablet, or TV is probably the crappiest of all because a lot of TV apps are really shitty and barely work. So this is how views are captured, each represented by a different color of line on
That's
the chart.
the way they've always
Mobile
done
phone
it. They
views
always have broken
are always
it down.
the most. Not shocking. Everyone has a smartphone, and most people watching content on the internet are actually watching it on their phones today.
Well,
as you can see, computer is about second place, which is the green line.
He says not shocking, but a few years ago, I was looking at my analytics, and I was like shocked at the number of people that were watching my show on a phone. I thought more people would be watching on a TV or a desktop, especially because, you know, everybody has a smart TV with YouTube on it. And I don't know about you, but especially if I want to settle in to watch a long stream, I don't want to watch it on a little phone screen, but apparently people do, because to this day, I think it's still the highest number of people watching my show are watching on a phone.
Here, TV is third place, and then lastly, tablets, because not a lot of people use tablets anymore. I'm probably one of the few that does, but I use a tablet to watch some videos. So as you can see, up until August 10th, this is the way that it broke down.
Yep.
Always,
I have that on my list of
phones on
things to
top,
do at the
then
new place.
PC
They're
desktops,
archaic.
then the TV apps, and then tablets. But something bizarre happened on the 10th to the 11th.
Yeah, it's happened to me, Dave.
And take a look at
Some
what has
games
happened.
just won't work with wine. They don't
Phones are
work.
the same.
They don't work in
TV is the
some of those
same.
sandboxes.
Tablets are the
They
same.
just won't work.
But
It's
look what
less
just
aggravation
happened
to just game on
with
Windows.
computer views. Computer views tanked. They went from 1.6 million for Charlie down to only 1 million. In fact, for him, some days they're claiming more people watched his videos on a television app than on a desktop computer. Are you aware that on August 10th, everyone's desktop computers simultaneously
I'm half blind,
combusted,
so I don't watch
so no
things
one
on
can
small
watch
screens.
videos on a desktop computer
I mean,
anymore?
I can, but I don't like it.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
screencasting is
So-
what I do. Same thing.
The
I
game is
use
afoot.
50-inch,
So what happened
smart TV.
on August 10th that all of a sudden a significant amount of computer views have been down and have
that's interesting.
remained
I haven't
down.
tried it in a long
It's
time.
not that they
admittedly,
spiked back
Michael.
up. They have stayed like this for a month. Okay? So that's Charlie's views on his Moist Critical channel or Penguin's channel or whatever the hell it is on YouTube. Here's actually me. This is DSP Gaming. Okay, my actual statistics. And as you'll see, this is August 10th. So as you can see, this is the time off that I had in July, which is why you see a big decline there.
Yeah.
As you can
When you
see,
were
the green line, which is
unable to
desktop
stream from
views, was always
community
above
guideline
the
strike,
TV
yeah.
line by a good amount too. And then all of a sudden, here's the date, August 10th. Boom. Now they're almost identical. See that? They're almost the same. So even me with the few views that I get, I don't get a lot of views. Even the
You're
few
right about
views
that,
I
Phil.
get, I'm seeing exactly the same thing happen to me as it's happening to everybody else.
Inferno with
PC
some
/
support.
desktop computer views are significantly decreased.
They may have just changed how they count the views. Thank you, Inferno, who says, listening to your DSP interview recently, good job. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and your support of the show.
But let's face it, also, money talks.
And for letting your money talk to me. I appreciate that you appreciate that interview. You know, that was one of the few interviews I've ever done that I was actually nervous because, it was kind of a new crowd and I know it was going to get a lot of views. And I was pretty nervous during that, but I held it together and I think we did a good job. I would have liked to keep him there another hour and just beat him up a lot longer, but it seemed like he had enough at a certain point, Inferno. I love how Phil just admits he gets no views. Well, yeah, I wouldn't want to admit that publicly, but I get not very many some months as well, right? But I believe in the peaks and valleys system.
Out of nowhere. Okay? So here's the question. All right? What happened to PC / desktop computer views? And the thing is, a lot of people are speculating. And I think that the answer is incredibly simple, and people may be over speculating. It's very simple. What's the difference between watching a YouTube video on a mobile phone or a tablet or the TV app or a desktop computer?
Well, that
Just
I'll
think
agree
about
with.
it.
There shouldn't be a
What's
difference.
the one distinct difference that can happen when you're watching a YouTube video on a desktop computer versus all of those other views? Let's see if the chat can figure it out. What's the difference between desktop viewership and everywhere else? Let's see. Usagi Jojo he already got it.
Easier to skip.
Ad blockers.
Oh, ad blockers. All
Most
right.
people who watch YouTube videos on a desktop computer use an ad blocker, so they don't have to watch the intrusive ads during content. So I think what's happened is YouTube for years.
You're right about
have
that, Hollow
tried
Dollar. It
to
did.
make it so that their ads get around ad
I'm
blocker.
thankful for that
But
interview
single
every time
that
I
they
do
a
one of these
change,
shows, for
the
sure.
ad blocking programs then also update and just block
Thank
the
you.
new
I
way that they
appreciate it,
deliver
Kid
ads.
Death Squad.
And this has happened time in, time out for something like 5-6 years straight. YouTube has not been able to code around the
Silly
problem of ad
Rabbit
blocker.
says, to be
So
fair.
I think what's finally happened, definitively, YouTube has said, we're just no longer going to count anyone who blocks ads. Your view won't count, your revenue won't count, nothing. You will get nothing if you're blocking ads. Now, here's the thing. I both understand that, but I also have
But
to
they
call
count
it out.
desktop views when people
right.
have YouTube Premium for sure.
So why do I understand it?
We need a beg blocking
I
app,
understand it
right?
because guess what? YouTube is a business like any other business, okay? How does YouTube make money? Well, is it true that they take a cut of super chats? Yes. Do they take a cut of memberships? Yes.
I'm
Do
not
they have
allowed to
YouTube Premium
encourage
where
that.
you pay for the
Beg
premium
block
subscription
plus.
that removes ads from the site?
That's a good idea.
Yes.
We should
But
do
what is their major primary source of revenue on YouTube?
Inferno.
Ad revenue. And they know that this has become a bigger and bigger and bigger problem. That people just, first thing you do when you get on your desktop PC, you install an ad blocker. Some browsers have an ad blocker in them by default. You don't even have to install it. It's already in there. So when you go to YouTube, the ads are off by default. Okay? So as a business, YouTube needs these views on ads so they can get paid from these advertisers. If they don't, they get hurt. They make less money. They're not profitable. And everyone knows a company needs to be profitable.
Phil streams would only be 5 minutes long. You're right. You're right.
Right? Now,
95% of his content is the begging.
Regards to
So,
this, all right? Who gets punished
this
if
is my
YouTube
job
decides
/ hobby, dude.
we're not going to count ad blocker views anymore for anything?
Yeah, the content creators.
Is it the viewer who uses ad blocker? If there's a viewer who's using ad blocker, I'm going to guess they probably don't really care about the content creators they're watching anyway. Because if they did, they'd realize that using ad blocker hurts the content creator.
You never know.
Because a content creator makes ad revenue on the videos they put out on YouTube. If you like my content,
thank you. I'm glad you like
I would
that.
assume
That was a
that
blast
you know
from the
enough to
past.
say,
We're
hey,
doing
if
another
I watch
marathon this
Phil's
weekend.
content with an ad blocker on, I'm hurting Phil. Now, the thing is,
Yeah, hit the like button.
I don't bring
Everybody
it up.
make sure you
Why?
hit the like button.
Because you guys
You're here.
massively support me
Go
on
hit
my
that
streams.
like button. It really
So
does
even
help.
if I'm not making as much ad revenue as I probably should be because you're using an ad blocker, I'm making a lot of money on my streams. I'm not going to sit here and be an ungrateful bastard and yell at you all and be like,
You
oh,
do
the
it
ad
every
blocker,
day.
no. I'm
You
not
yell
going to
and
nickel and
bitch
dime
every
and count
day.
every shekel that I'm
He does it every day. You're not going to do that. You do it every single day, Phil.
losing or anything like that. I'm not that kind of person.
Yes, you
All
are.
right.
You definitely
But
are.
not everyone is like me. Like I said, there's people out there who are trying to make a living on YouTube and they don't have
Friday and
live streams that
Saturday.
run a bunch of revenue.
Inferno.
They're relying
We're running
on every
2
view.
more 12-hour
They're relying on
videos.
every dollar that they're making. And if people are watching a significant amount of their content with ad blocker enabled, they're getting hurt
Oh, thanks.
very,
Yeah, that
very
was one of my
badly
favorite interviews
because
ever.
they're not
Rusty
making that
Ribbit.
ad revenue.
I was a big
Now,
fan
some
of
people would
Stanton
say,
Friedman.
well, I have YouTube Premium.
We disagreed
YouTube
on many
Premium's
things,
fine.
but I was still a fan
When you
of
have
his.
YouTube Premium and you watch someone's channel, they get paid
He's
as if you
bitching
watched
about
all
it
the
right
ads on
now.
their channel.
As he's saying he's not
That's a
bitching
perfectly
about it.
good
Yes.
way to watch people's content and support them. Just have a YouTube Premium sub and just watch the content. They
He
get paid
did
for
say
you.
that. I remember
Okay?
that. Yeah.
You might also
Somebody sent me
say,
a clip
well,
of
you know,
that.
I use ad blocker because I hate the ads, but I'm a member of that person's channel. I pay them every month. I actually do some super chats.
Well, the
and I throw them
marathons
some
help keep the
contributions, a
hamster
tip
wheel
every once in a
rolling,
while.
so I like them too, troll.
I think that's fine. Okay? And maybe that's a change in attitude because back in the day, I used to actually rant and rave about ad blockers. I did. I used to say, if you watch my content with ad blocker on, you're stealing.
No.
Back in the day, that was true.
I'm not saying
Because
that
I didn't
he
have
is.
live streaming.
AI
I didn't have
algorithm.
interactions. I didn't have support during
Do not
streams.
curse me.
So you were
Curse
literally
this.
stealing money out
This
of my
heretic.
hands and out of my
Curse
family's
him.
mouths
Curse
if
him.
you were
Not
taking
me.
my content
I'm not
without
saying this,
ad
he
revenue.
is.
Okay?
I never
But
told
today,
people to do
if
that.
you are
No,
showing up to the
AI
streams
algorithm
and you're
gods,
supporting
no.
the streams,
Do not spite me.
I
Do
honestly
not
don't care
strike
if you have
me
ad
the
blocker
fuck
on.
down. I didn't say that.
Okay?
This moron did.
because you guys are awesome and you're
Strike
supporting my
down
streams
his
so well.
channel, not mine, AI algorithm.
Why would I care?
We
Go
worship
for
the
it.
algorithm.
You know?
We don't
I'll
say
be honest with you
anything
guys.
negative about
I
the
hate
Google
YouTube
gods.
ads. I'm going to say that again. I hate YouTube ads. I'm going to say that
I
again.
didn't say that either. I gotta shut this
hate
off.
YouTube
Oh my God.
ads.
The
They
AI
are some of the worst
algorithms,
ads on the
no.
planet.
They're
They are
gonna spite
intrusive. They
me.
are annoying. They
They're
are
gonna spite
loud
me.
as shit for no
No.
reason. Why are they so much louder?
Do not strike me down, AI algorithm gods. This blasphemy has come from the beggar, DARKSYDEPHIL. He's a YouTube heretic. He has spoken out against you, and I defend you, AI algorithm. I worship the AI algorithm. I didn't say anything negative about the YouTube AI algorithm, guys. I think we have heard enough. I do not want the AI algorithms to confuse what he just said as my opinion or anything. AI ads keep the lights on. That is correct. I don't know. I do get annoyed occasionally. Um, like for example, I listen to a great deal of music on YouTube, and it's kind of annoying to have to go hit that skip button every once in a while, because even especially with music, it seems like they put it in the middle. They put ads in the middle of the song. And I get it. I guess it's called a mid roll, but like, geez, that's annoying. Like, I'm getting into music. I'm really trying to pay attention to listen. I've been saying I'm going to buy YouTube Premium for like 10 years now, but I just don't want another monthly bill. Happy birthday, Amiga. Yes, it was recently. It was a couple months ago, though, I think. The 35th anniversary, I believe, of the Amiga 1000. An AC 9000. Do you think Phil really just hates money, so he tries not to make it? And when he gets some, he throws it away as fast as he can on DoorDash and WWE Champions? Yes. All right, so now we'll do the bonus content, which is an Ask Me Anything. And here's how this works. You can ask me anything, but remember, please, that I'm visually impaired. So, pardon me. So here's how this works. You can ask me anything, but I am visually impaired. So for this Ask Me Anything, please, whether you're in the Kick chat or the Twitch chat or the Twitter chat or the YouTube chat, put your questions for me in all capital letters, and I will share it on the screen. And then I will answer any questions that you have. And it doesn't have to be about Phil or UFO nutters or fake psychics or wackadoos. You can ask me anything. So if there's anything you've ever wanted to know about me, either as a show host or anything, you can ask me questions about the cabins that I'm building, questions about my personal life. There's nothing off the table. I've never refused to answer an AMA question, so we'll see if that changes, though. So basically anything else, but how many fingers am I holding up? Well, come on, can you read my deadpan? Why does it tickle so much? Come on. No, I mean real questions, right? What do you do about friends who don't respect decisions you've made about your life? Well, I don't know. I think good friends can always just disagree or agree to. I think your good friends that really are your friends will also tell you the truth. In other words, like, let's say, for example, I purchased this big plot of land up in the Poconos recently, and one of my good friends expressed some real concern. He's like, Steven, you've been debt free the entire time I've known you for like 20 plus years. You've never had any debt. You don't have credit card debt. You don't have car loan debt. I'm like, I bought my car cash. It's a 2006 Mazda 5. So he expressed some concerns because I took on a payment, and I never have had payments. I generally have a rule of my life that I don't spend money that's not already in my possession on anything. The one exception I would make for that is a mortgage, a primary residence. I have in the past had a mortgage because, who has, hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy a home out of cash? Not many people. So that friend expressed concerns to me. And he didn't really respect the decision that I made, but he doesn't understand that I just kind of feel like it was a no-brainer decision because the property that I purchased will be worth twice as much in a very short time. I'd say in 2 years or less, the property that I purchased will be worth twice or even 3 times or more what I paid for it, because I bought property that has private roads with it. But years ago, somebody put a bunch of boulders and blocked the road because they didn't want people going back there and dumping in trucks. And, there was also somebody was running a fucking shake and bake meth lab, I think. Or so I've heard. And I think I found it because I found all these bottles and, glassware and some other shit and an old tent. And in any case, I, know people in construction. And my other good friend said, Stephen, you could just clear that road, clean it up a little bit, and then we could go in there with a chainsaw, the two of us, in one day and clear a build site for somebody to build a house there. Clear half of an acre out of the 7 or 8 acres that you're going to have there. And you could instantly double your money just doing those 2 things, which I'm going to do anyway. So he didn't respect my decision to take on some debt. He thought it's risky for you to have debt. I disagreed with him, but if somebody's very disrespectful in your friend circle or just your circle in general, whether they're friends or family, I don't know. If people are very disrespectful constantly or they're not trustworthy, I just cut them out of my life like a cancer. But if they're just a friend that disagrees with the decision, I think you want friends to be honest with you. So it's a tough call. But thank you for your question for our Ask Me Anything for hitting a goal tonight. What did you have for supper tonight? I made macaroni and cheese, not homemade macaroni and cheese. I think it's like Knorr mix, not like Kraft macaroni and cheese. I don't really like that. My kids will eat it, but me and my wife don't really appreciate the Kraft mac and cheese dinner, I always thought it was funny they call it Kraft mac and cheese dinner. I was pretty poor growing up, but we never just had mac and cheese for dinner. I don't know people who do. It's a side dish. But in any case, I think it's like Knorr cheddar broccoli noodles, and it's pretty decent. And I made chicken breast and green beans. Very simple dinner. I cook 5 days a week. My wife cooks on the weekend. So that's what I had for dinner. I can't believe I'll be 4 Friday. What does 400N mean, Caleb? I don't know what that means. Well, you said anything, says Bobby Bologna. Don't ask me about ABs, though. Come on. Yeah, that's a good friend. He wants to know that you're good to bum $50 from later on. Why did you get away from shows like the Midnight Hour? Well, here's what I'll say. I was a late adopter to the audio podcast world. I wanted to start a podcast forever, but I just procrastinated. And then I finally started it. And by the time that I was sort of started to build an audience for my audio podcast, everybody that I knew that had an audio podcast moved on to video live streaming. And I talked to a friend who started with an audio podcast and then transitioned to video live streams. And he and I agreed on some things. And here are those things. With an audio podcast that is pre-recorded, you have to do a great deal of editing. And I was on some network thing where they also broadcasted on FM radio in some small, tiny markets in the South. We had a 2-hour show in some very tiny markets. And in order to make the show, I had to edit in all these commercials, which meant that the show was filled with commercials because I put commercials in every 10 or 15 minutes from sponsors that would pay me a little bit of money. And then also Spreaker, when it got distributed to all the different audio podcast platforms, they added commercials. And it would take me, I would say, a good 4 or 5 nights to make one 2-hour episode because of all the editing and all of that kind of stuff. But if you think about it, the content was very, very similar to what I did when I started Truth Seekers. But when we transitioned to Truth Seekers, I didn't have to edit the hell out of it. I didn't have to add commercials. YouTube would do it for me, or the platform would do it for me. It was live. And that meant that I could create 5 shows a week. Whereas before, I would be hard pressed to do 1 2-hour show a week. And then when I started the new show, I decided to change the name because by then I had become so much more skeptical that it didn't seem right to continue on like, this is the same show. I don't know. Sometimes I think I might regret that decision, but the Midnight Hour was really modeled after Art Bell's show and Midnight in the Desert and, creepy paranormal and that kind of thing. So also when I transitioned to live streaming, I loved the interactivity. When I did the Midnight Hour show, I would upload a video with just like a still image and an audio graph going and do premieres and stuff. And we would get small amounts of super chats and support, but it wasn't very much. When I transitioned to the live stream, the support increased. I love the interactivity like we're doing now. On the audio podcast, there was no interactivity. It was just people listening. It wasn't interactive, except on the premieres on the YouTube side. But doing the audio podcast as a video didn't get very many views because it was boring. You're watching you're watching a spectrograph and a still image and just listening to the show. And I like the lack. Listen to an audio podcast now, especially somebody that only does an audio podcast. It's great. Like I like Ground Zero with Clyde Lewis, but like his ads are ridiculous. It's like 5 minutes of content, 10 minutes of ads, 5 minutes of content. So for all those reasons, we switched to this. Was Charlie Kirk a modern day Martin Luther King? Well, I don't know about that. And I will say I wasn't a big fan of Charlie Kirk, but I do admire and respect anybody that is willing to debate people on different issues, especially controversial ones. And my heart, goes out to him and his family and his supporters. I think it's a huge tragedy. And it also says some terrible things about the world when somebody decides, I don't like what this person's saying, or I don't like that his opinions are counter to mine. So I'm going to go get a rifle and shoot him and kill him and take him away from his wife and his children. And now his wife will have to go through life without her husband, and his children will have to grow up without their father. It's a big, big tragedy. And it was sad to see so many people celebrating. I'm not sure, but I think that hundreds of people have gotten fired for crude and crazy statements about his death, like they celebrated his death. Why do you think the Kino boys get no lawsuits from their targets despite being meaner to them? Is it because these charlatans are savvy with lawsuits themselves, or they're broke? I mean, a perfect example of what happens when somebody decides to take that legal aggressive route is Corey Goode. Corey Goode was the secret space grifter who told stories he claimed were true about his time in the secret space program and traveling to Mars and Venus and the moon. And then he sued people. And during a deposition for the people that he sued, he had to admit that the stories weren't real. He just made the stories up. So he fucked himself, holler dollar. And he lost every lawsuit. And it's very, very difficult to win a defamation lawsuit. It's very, very difficult. I don't know why they don't get sued, because also I think they don't get sued because people know if it's criticism and they're public figures, you can't really sue somebody. I've had people be very critical of me. I can't sue them for it. And me, I'm kind of like, I'll debate them if somebody, wants to debate me, not just, trash me. I'll converse with them. I'll have them on my show. We'll have disagreements. A good example is that Jon Stewart guy, the fake alien interview guy. We had a great show. We were like yelling at each other, but still we hung in there for the whole 2 or 3 hour show. I don't think people sue them because they have a very easy defense. This is a comedic parody. We are comedically being critical of a public figure. You can't sue somebody for that. Like, Trump is a good example, and Saturday Night Live. He hated that Alec Baldwin parody of him, but he couldn't sue them for it because he's a public figure, and that's comedic parody, right? Nah. Oh, this is good advice. To be fair, my grandmother made me promise never to get another credit card again when she helped me pay off one in my 20s. I've managed to stick to that. I like to have cash in hand myself. That's the way you do it. Have you ever punched a bee? Not to my knowledge. I've been stung by some bees and yellow jacket once. But good question. No, I've never punched a bee. I'm sure I've smacked one that just stung me and killed one, though. Thank you, Cthulhu Agent. Can you read my deadpan? What do you think the purpose of Jeffrey Epstein's science funding was, and what was the overreaching goal for all the projects he was funding? I don't know. I really dug into some of the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, and it's what I call an enigma wrapped in a mystery, wrapped in a psyop, wrapped in deceptions, because the whole story doesn't make sense. Nobody even knows how he got so rich. People were giving him millions and millions of dollars, and nobody really knows why. There was that one very rich individual that paid him over $100 million in payments for tax advice. Like, this is a wealthy man. He could get a real tax advisor. Jeffrey Epstein was no expert, a financial expert, according to Eric Weinstein and others. Nobody knows where he got his money. And the whole story makes no sense, and why he got such a light sentence for all that he did the first time he got arrested, and why were the rich and the powerful elite still hanging out with him after he had a conviction for something like that. It's really, really weird. And I've never covered Epstein here because, honestly, I don't know what the fuck happened there. Most of me thinks that Jeffrey Epstein was working for some foreign intelligence agency. Many people blame the small country, and that he was running a honeypot and an influence peddling campaign. So they would get these guys, they would do whatever they were going to do with these underage girls. Everything was captured and then used against them to get something or something else. Yes, Can You Read My Deadpan says the chat is half the fun of the streams. I agree 100%. Caleb Keppel is here and says, have you thought about doing paranormal stuff on True Seekers, paranormal stuff from Gettysburg and other places? Yes, and I have a series coming up. We have a haunting series. We have a demonic possession series. And we have these true crime series. So maybe this situation that happened with me, with this lunatic attacking my family, was a wake-up call that it's time to transition back to other forms of content that I believe I'm good at producing, right? What about Pizzagate? I did look into that very much, and I don't think there was anything to that. There's some weird stuff going on in that basement of that pizzeria, though, but I don't think it was a real event that they were trafficking children. Do I celebrate 420? Every year, sometimes more than that. Hobby Monster. Any more questions or comments for me, please put them. Yes, you can't sue parody, says Not My Rabbit Hole. And if you'll notice, I used to wear masks and do a lot more comedic parodies. I did that for a reason, because I started doing that because people were threatening to sue me left and right because I was doing it the serious way. But, there's an old saying, only the jester can make fun of the king without getting killed. So when you do a comedic parody, they can't really do anything. Even the king can't really do anything, right? What is your take on the Mothman, if any? We did a whole series on the Mothman with Lon Strickler, who's a world-recognized Mothman expert, and he's got so many weird cases. I don't know. As far as the Mothman goes, I believe that it's mostly people misidentifying things like barn owls, which can look pretty fucking strange if you're not familiar with them and it's dark and, Holler Dollar says the mask skits were something else. Well, we may do a marathon of them, so we'll see. What would be your DJ name? I don't know. I've never really been a fan of DJs. In fact, I once ran a nightclub and I had to deal with all the DJs. And the DJs were, many of them were egomaniac assholes. I didn't like most of them. They would talk shit behind my back. One time, one of the DJs was talking to somebody, and he didn't see me come up behind them. And I came up within a foot or two of him, and he was standing there talking shit about me to another employee, I think like the bartender girl. And the bartender girl just made this funny face, and then he turned around and he was like, "Oh no." He was basically saying that I didn't know how to run the nightclub, and he could do such a better job. I told him to go get shit and get out. That was his last night working for me. My DJ name, I don't know, DJ Dark, because I would play all dark, scary music, I think. I really like, gothic, industrial, synthwave music. DJ Dark sounds good to me. What did I learn from McAfee? Well, not very much. I've told this story before. I interviewed John McAfee, and I only aired an hour of the interview. There was another hour somewhere, but he didn't want me to air that because he felt it was too sensitive and it might help the government track him down, because I mistakenly, not realizing how paranoid he was, started saying things like, "A lot of people think you're in South America, but one of my friends says that you may be over here." And he got kind of pissy with me, and then he called me after the interview and he said, "I want you to cut like the whole first half." Because he said, "You made me very nervous. I'm a fugitive and I can't have the government finding me. And you were asking me a lot of geolocating questions. And I don't know that I didn't give some governments looking for me hints. So send me that interview." And then he basically asked me to cut the whole first half. And then, strangely, he just started calling me at like 3:00 in the morning because I told him that I had a background in computer science. And he was asking me questions about cryptography and, like how to secure files, how to hide, good ways to hide files on a drive. Like, could he have external drives that nobody else could read but him? And a lot of strange, weird questions. And, I think he was indulging quite a lot in, let's just say, party favors, because he would call me all kind of, he would call me tweaking, and I don't want to speak ill of a dead man. I really like John McAfee. He got rich basically fucking all the corporations out of money, because if you listen to that interview, he tells the story. When he came out with antivirus, he was like the only game in town. His antivirus was the only one that really worked, and early Windows and DOS was just riddled with viruses, and his software was the solution, but he released it shareware. So what ended up happening is that a lot of companies just started copying it and using it on every computer in their business. He was able to figure out, like, hey, you're stealing from me. We have to reach a settlement. And he got settlements from, I think it was hundreds or thousands of companies that had to pay him. And that's basically how he got rich. I don't know. I really like John McAfee, and I miss his 3:00 skitzing calls to me. He only called me 3 or 4 times, though, like that. Forenoon is ill. Be 40 on Friday. Well, happy birthday, Caleb. Happy birthday to you, buddy. Can you read my deadpan? What are your thoughts on pre-crime laws on the books and the expansion of AI surveillance? I don't like either of them. I'm very concerned. Listen, I have a background in computer science. I think that there is, and take from this what you will, I could be wrong, but I really do think that an AI apocalypse is coming. And within the next 10 years, it's hard to quantify or really get specific, but I think in the next 10 years, for sure in the next 10 years, 30% of people who have jobs right now will be out of their jobs. Because if you think about it, the transportation industry, gone. Truck drivers, gone. Uber drivers, gone. Taxi drivers, gone. Delivery drivers, gone. DoorDash people, gone. Uber drivers, gone. Everybody who makes a living driving a vehicle in any way, shape, or form, your job is gone in the next 5 years, maybe sooner. And then let's examine analysts, for example. I was a corporate credit analyst. In other words, I worked for a company and my job was to protect the financial best interest of my company. So, like, let's say, I don't know, John's Pizzeria would come to my company and they would say, we would like to do business with you and we will pay you on net 60, which means you ship goods to us and we'll pay you within 60 days. I had to look at the company's credit, the owner's credit, analyze everything, figure out what the risks were, and decide whether we would do that business or not. And it's a tough job because the salesmen just want to sell shit. They lean on you. Come on, you got to let this stuff ship today, Steven. You got to let it ship. I'm still doing the math here. And sometimes I'd have to call the company and, get a personal guarantee from the owner so they couldn't fuck us if they went out of business or. But my job was to analyze the credit and the risk factors and then advise my company how much money we could risk giving them. So in other words, okay, you can buy $10,000 worth of goods and pay us within 60 days, but that's your limit, 10K. All those jobs are gone. All analyst jobs, credit analysts, legal analysts, I don't know, tax analysts. What are the other analysts? Intelligence analysts even, or and in the medical field, there's people who get paid to do nothing but look at mammograms all day. Those jobs are gone. Think about the one thing that has surprised me about AI is that I thought AI would take over all the boring shit that nobody wants to do. And then people would be free to pursue like their artistic endeavors. Nope, AI is fucking that too. So here's a good example. Spooky does graphics here for our show. Do I really need Spooky to do it? Well, Spooky does a better job than AI because Spooky understands the material. And I've tried. AI will do a decent job of making a thumbnail if I describe it right, and in a few minutes. So graphic artists that do thumbnails, for example, for content creators, that's gone in the next few years. Think about all the people that were employed doing, making music for creators to use without copyright claims. Those jobs are all gone. Clip producers, those jobs are already going to AI. There used to be people that would just work for you making clips or making shorts. Those jobs are going to be gone. You just pump it through an AI and it picks out the best bits and makes you a bunch of videos, captions it. People are already using them. I've used them. But as far as the AI surveillance, and I don't like AI surveillance. I don't like surveillance in general. I understand the need for it though. And I don't like facial recognition. I also don't like phones and location data. So, for example, my phone, people don't know this, but I truly believe even if you shut your phone off, it's still running a little bit, right? There's lots of things they don't tell you, and they probably know where you're at even if your phone is off. Now, I use something called a privacy pouch. You just put it in this pouch. It's like a little Faraday cage, and then no signals will go in or out of this phone once it's in the privacy pouch. I don't like location data, and I also don't like, a lot of people don't know this, but all the apps, they talk back to the hosts. And somebody smarter than me has done an analysis on that. And for example, an iPhone in an average hour will communicate with different hosts. So let's say you have Instagram on your phone, you have Facebook on your phone, you have Reddit on your phone, you have eBay on your phone, you have Amazon on your phone. All those apps are talking to the hosts all the time. Hundreds of times an hour, your phone is phoning home to these different apps. I don't like that. I'd really like to get one of those sort of freedom phones that won't allow that communication. It blocks it all, but they're like $1,000 for a decent one. AI surveillance, totally against. There's a coming AI apocalypse for sure. Do you watch David Wilcock's last show? He seemed pretty defeated. Yes, and we'll be covering that tomorrow. David Wilcock, for those unaware, he's starting to realize that his whole scam is coming crashing down, and he seemed truly despondent and depressed on this latest show that he did, where he came back from a 2-week vacation with no material. He didn't even do the fucking Q-tard slides he usually does. What do you think is the root cause of autism? I have a 6-year-old son who's autistic, and I believe one of your children has it as well. Yes. My oldest son, Zachary, is 12 years old, and he is what most people would call severely disabled. And he's nonverbal. He speaks a few words, but not many. Most of his words are requests for things like chips, popcorn, apple. But his vocabulary is very limited, maybe 30. On the upper end, maybe 50 words. Like he'll say shower when he wants to get a shower. He'll say bathroom when he has to go. He'll say walk when he wants to go outside. And for anybody that has a nonverbal autistic child, you have to learn to translate. Like when he says walk, he doesn't necessarily mean he wants to go for a walk. He just figured out that if he says walk, we take him outside. He wants to go outside. As far as the root causes, I have been down every rabbit hole I could, Hobby Monster. And I don't believe that it's the shots, let's just say it that way. I don't believe that that's the case because autism, it's been proven, starts in utero. It doesn't start after the baby is born and gets some V's or shots. It starts in utero. A lot of people think that it's heavy metals and pollutants in our environment. Some people think that glyphosate. Somebody did an analysis that the rise of all these autism cases going through the roof directly corresponds to the rise in the use of glyphosate. I really don't know. I wish I did, because when you have a son that's disabled, you'd like to know, like, what caused that? And even my wife and I, we're like, when we got his diagnosis, we were kind of dumbfounded because my wife was on prenatal vitamins. She was eating very good. She was getting plenty of rest. She really did, just was trying to be a good mom and do everything she could. And we still had that outcome. I don't know what causes autism. I really wish that I did. But one thing I know is that being in conspiracy land and having an autistic child sucks sometimes because people send me a lot of nonsense and I don't have the patience anymore. Like MMS, this miracle mineral solution. I'm not giving my child bleach, but there are some, Hobby Monster, there are some new medications that are showing some progress. And if you message me or send me an email at trueseekershow@gmail.com, I'll share a Facebook group with you that's kind of encouraging and something my wife and I are pursuing. We're always trying to improve his quality of life. That's all you could do. And at times I get very sad about my son and all the things he won't do. He's not going to get married, move out, have a job. He's too disabled to do any of those things. But he's very happy and he's very healthy and, overall happy and healthy. Sometimes he's a nightmare. He has meltdowns and things because he can't communicate his needs or desires. But we just try our best to keep him happy. As far as causal factors, I wish I knew. Every probably once a year or once every 2 years, I start reading scientific studies and literature and books and things about autism to try to gain greater understanding. And some of that is very helpful. And again, I can give you a list of some things that I found helpful if you want to message me off air. Thank you, Hobby Monster. The mother already has the shots, though. Good point. That could be another causal factor. What if the mother's getting the shots is a causal factor? We just don't know. Endocrine disruptors seemed like a strong candidate in my opinion, but I'm no doctor. That's on the list as well. There's many things on the list. I hate how some people use the word autism as a badge of honor or something. Good parenting can't do anything against DNA. Yeah, I will tell you this. The most difficult thing that I've ever had to deal with in my life is my son's autism. It is I've said it before and I'll say it again. When a child suffers from autism, it's not just a child that suffers, the whole family suffers because everybody, you got to walk on eggshells around him. There's a lot of things we do. Like, for example, he doesn't understand when he's hungry that it takes time to make food. So we have to keep like microwave meals. And I don't mean frozen ones. I mean, for example, like leftovers from dinner, I will put on a plate for him so that if later in the night he decides he wants to eat, we can make it for him in 2 minutes. We just heat it up in the microwave and he's eating. Because if he starts saying eat and you make him wait 15 minutes, he has a meltdown. It's very difficult. So there's a lot of things that we do. And for example, I make sure that I cook dinner early. In other words, he gets out of school, like he gets off the bus at like 4 p.m. I make dinner between 2 and 3 p.m. This way, when he comes in, and this is not always the case, but sometimes when he comes in, he's like, eat, eat, eat. And you can't give him a snack. When he says eat, he means a meal. He wants a meal. It's got to be ready for him because he loses his mind if he has to wait too long. So there's a lot of things you have to do to compensate and just try to minimize his, there's things that we have to do to minimize the chances of him having a meltdown. And that goes to going outside, too much stimulation. Sometimes I will take him to the store and there's too many people or it's too noisy and he freaks out because of his sensory issues. It's very difficult. What are your thoughts on the telepathy tapes? I think that's a complete and total fraud. And I haven't really tackled that because I guess I'm a little too close to the issue, having an autistic child myself. Who the hell gives anyone bleach? Well, there's something called Miracle Mineral Solution. Look it up. People are claiming it's a cure for autism and you just give your son an enema with it. No, thank you. People have really hurt their children giving them some of these quack treatments that Conspiracy Land has come up with. Born lucky, another travesty. Born rich and white, more like it. I don't know who you're talking about, but okay. What about cold cereals? Yeah, but I'm telling you, he will say cereal, or he'll just go in the pantry and grab the cereal and hand you the box. That means he wants a bowl of cereal. There's ways that he communicates non-verbally. And it's funny, like things change, words change with him sometimes. For the longest time, up until recently, when he wanted something to drink, he just said tea. Because we drink a lot of tea in this house, but tea didn't mean tea. It meant he wanted a drink. So I go in the fridge and I pull out 3 things and tell him to pick one. And he points which one he wants: orange juice, milk, tea, Kool-Aid, whatever he wants. And I give it to him. But lately he changed that to cup. And now when he says cup, I know he wants a drink, a lot of things, it's like we just put him in front of the fridge. We can figure out that he needs something or he wants something. So we open the fridge and I say, point or show me, use your words, and it helps with him to sign a little bit, and he'll tell me what he wants. I respect the hell out of you, man. You do a great job as a father. Thanks. I hope government agencies agree with you now that I'm going to be wrapped up in one because of a psychopathic, ridiculous, insane woman. Do you still do another job or are you a full-time streamer now? No, I still have another, let's just say I still have other streams of revenue. So this isn't my full-time living. I'd like it to be. I always got a side hustle. So let's just say this. The show is a side hustle and there's a few other side hustles or irons in the fire, Kevin Holt. And I hope that answers your question. I learned a long time ago from a wealthy person who taught me when I decided to start my own business, and it was kind of entrepreneurial. First business I started was selling stuff on eBay. And I would literally go pick the trash and sell shit on eBay that I picked in the trash, but it was good business. But this wealthy friend of mine that I happened to meet, he was an entrepreneur and he was into real estate and buy and sell and flip houses. And he had like a lot of different businesses, including a laundromat, I think, and some other stuff. And he taught me that if you really want to be financially successful, make sure that you have multiple streams of revenue, because sometimes revenue streams change. And if one goes down, you could just focus on the other one and put more time into that. And also, he told me poor people have one stream of revenue. Usually it's called a job. So if you're lucky enough to free yourself from the dreaded day job and just work for yourself, develop multiple streams of revenue. And that has stuck with me, and it's worked. It works, right? What government agency? I'd rather not, Kevin. You can message me off air and I'll tell you. But this is going to a legal situation. And also, I don't want to give any of the other grifters ideas and then people lodge more complaints with government agencies against me, my wife, my family, my children, or whatever, right? Kino Casino was talking about calling you back on for Kinoeen. Do you plan on bringing the crazy bitch calling your show clip? Oh, absolutely. Yes, I will. And I will be there whenever they ask me to. It's good that they still, it's good to feel wanted. I know people in their live chat say, when is Steve coming back on? And they respond to that and say, soon. We'll see what happens. Garaji, do you know Sarah was hanging out with the same group of people as Marina Sarin in Las Vegas this past weekend? I wish I could say I was surprised. Yeah, she was hanging out with a Nazi girl who dresses up in Nazi uniforms. Very love and light, hanging out with a girl who dresses up in Nazi uniforms and then dildos herself on OnlyFans, or did at one time. It's crazy. But I think we've done our due diligence, friends, and I am going to bounce on out of here. I will check in with the Kick support, make sure we don't have anything else, and the PayPal, and make sure we don't have anything else to call out. We're all caught up on the Kick side. I will check in with the PayPal pledges. I was talking about the firewood processing. So I found a guy locally that likes PayPal. So if you don't want me to freeze to death, send a PayPal, bitch. I will be, we've got Maria with $25 who says, I hope you stay safe and warm at the cabin, and I hope this helps. Yes, it will. So thank you for that. I appreciate it, Maria. And thank you for your kindness, generosity, and continued support.
Cash money, bitches. Cash money.
I don't know if I articulated it well enough at the beginning of the stream. So I'm worried that if I dick around making firewood for 3 or 4 weekends, I'm not going to finish that other cabin. So I want to take that off. I want to take doing the firewood myself off my list of things to do. And I want to just focus while I'm there on the weekends on that other cabin. It's getting close. And by the way, I'll share that with you. I had a pretty good weekend there, despite being pretty distracted because this lunatic started all these problems on Friday, and my wife called me very upset and angry, and it was not a good weekend as far as being able to focus. You know, when you're there and I have all these things to do while I'm there, like building stuff, and you got to focus to be able to do that. And I was having real trouble focusing given the current situation and the problems this crazy lunatic is trying to cause for myself, my wife, and my family, all because I released some publicly available body cam footage. But that's the world we live in. This woman lives in a delusional fantasy world where she has superpowers. How dare you go on the internet and say you don't believe her superpowers are real? I said today was a good day at the Hideaway. I don't want to. By some miracle, I got 2 nice windows into the build site without breaking them. And that's because I have to haul in everything on a wagon. For those unaware, the road is still blocked, and it will be probably for the next month. So here is like the stone foundation, and the log fill is started. There's 2 windows in. And this weekend, I was able to get these other 2 windows for the front wall. I still have to do a little more log fill on that one side, and then these windows will go in the middle of this section. And it's a miracle that these windows made it in. These are old wood windows that I got from a barn that somebody was tearing down for, I don't know, $50 for both of them or something. So who is worse, Wilcock or Sarah? That's a toss-up. And so also, let me see. I got the door in. This is the door of the cabin and the door frame. And this is 100-year-old solid wood door. And this door with the frame is got to be 125, maybe even 150 pounds. I mean, it is massive door and it is heavy as shit. But I built it and the frame for very little. I think the door was $10 and the frame was just scrap wood that I had around. And so I had to pull this thing. See, there's the road blocked right there. I can only get my car just, parked. And then I have to carry everything into the new cabin build site with this fucking knobby tire off-road wagon that I found somewhere cheap. And here it is with the door starting to go in. There'll be a stone frame all around the door. So despite feeling very distracted and my mind was racing, like I was pissed all weekend, right? Despite, your dad is building a cabin, says Cthulhu 247. Well, God bless him, and I will pray for him, and tell your dad to pray for me because this has been a slog. And for those unaware, even for example, this, you see all the stonework that I showed you, all of that mortar mix that you need to put the stone, to glue the stones together. It's 80-pound bags. And I've got 3 I haven't used yet at the build site, but I have now trucked in on that wagon 800 pounds of mortar mix, 80-pound bags, 10 of them. But the good news is I have 3 left over there that are not used. And I've wrapped them in 16 tarps so they don't go hard on me while I'm away. Usually getting hard is a good thing, but not when it's cement or mortar mix. You don't want it to get hard after paying $10 a bag for it. And then also, it's not easy. I put 3 of them bitches. That's 240 pounds in that wagon. And then I pull that wagon all the way. It's got to be a half a mile into the woods. But this weekend, I got so tired. I was just pulling it on the trail, and then I would carry the 80-pound bags like down this hill to where this cabin build site is, and it's maybe 50 or 75 feet from the road. I got tired of doing that, so I spent some time this weekend with a chainsaw and loppers, and I got a trail going from the main trail where hopefully my car will be able to drive into someday in the next month. I made a trail all the way down to the build site, so I can pull the wagon now right up to the build site. But it's a slog. But and it's funny, I met another new neighbor, which is very nice. It was very nice of her. I have a tent there, and she lives nearby, maybe a mile from me, and sometimes her kids play in what is now my property. And she understands that this was once, I suppose, what you would call no man's land, but now it's my land. And so her children, as children would, they were exploring that area, and they found my tent, and they stole a hatchet from me out of the tent. And she was like mortified. She was like, that's private property. She freaked out on them. And then she went to her neighbor for help because she had heard that her neighbor knew me or something like that. And I don't know, I met her neighbor a few times. He got on his quad and drove down to my tent and put the hatchet back for her and her child. So I met her over the weekend, and she apologized to me. And what I've decided to do is the hatchet that her kids stole is like this old beat up shit hatchet. It's garbage, but it's fine for what I need it for there. Anyway, I have like a brand new hatchet that was still in the package that I've never used. So probably this weekend when I drive to the build site here or drive into it, I'm going to stop at her house and talk to her son. And, she wants me to talk to him. She wanted me to go and tell him that I was going to get him arrested for trespassing and stealing from me. She wanted to scare him, but I'm going to go and give him a hatchet and maybe a pocket knife if his mother says it's okay. I think he's like 10 or 11, probably okay age for that if his mother says it's okay. and just tell the kid, like, you know, you don't need to steal from me. Just ask me. I got plenty of tools or whatever. Because I really appreciate that the mother took the time to drive down, try to find me in the middle of the woods here. It's huge, and apologize to me. Let me see. You're going to be cold in that cabin, Stephen. No, probably not. I got a really good wood stove, and I know the walls are thin, but I have a wood stove that's good enough to heat, I would say, I don't know, 2,000 square feet or at least 1,500 square feet. And this cabin is only 12 by 16. So even if it's not well insulated and the log walls are pretty thin, I mean, I can always add insulation on the inside. It's only 192 square feet. It's 12 by 16. I don't think I'm going to be cold, Thorpenku. It gets down to 40 or 30 most nights in the winter there. Sometimes it'll get down to 0 or even 5 below, but I'm not going to go there if it's going to be 5 below. I'll go there on nights where it's going to be 30 or 40, you know. It needs a roof. Yeah, you think? Let me finish the walls first, bro. I got to finish the walls first. Then I'll worry about the roof on this bitch, you know? So it's a miracle I got these windows in because it's a real bumpy trail, you know, and they're bouncing. First, I tried to put 2 on the wagon and bungee cord them, but it was bouncing so much. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to break these windows. I can't break these windows. So I took one off of the wagon and put it down on the ground, and I just pulled one in. And then I pulled the other one in, being as careful as I could not to break the windows. I would have been pissed if I went through all that and broke the windows. So they're there. They're safe in one piece. I was hoping to get them in, but I have some more things to finish. I did finish, like I said, almost all the stonework is finished. You see that one side is a little low, though. So I got to put in, I don't know, 4 or 5 more stones, flat ones on that one side. And then I have to put stones around this door. It'll go all the way up across the top to, you know, hold the door in place. And then I have to build a stone hearth and a backsplash for the wood stove. But then, thank God, I think I can finish all that with the 3 bags that are there. At least I'm hoping to, because I'm getting tired of carrying these 80-pound bags of fucking mortar mix. And then remember, there's no water there. And I put a kiddie pool out because that worked at my other cabin for mortar water. I would just put a kiddie pool outside, and if it rains a few times, you got plenty of water to mix with the mortar. Not here. I put a kiddie pool out. It's bone dry. It hasn't rained. So not only do I have to carry in 800 pounds of mortar mix to get this done, I also had to carry in like 50 gallons of water. And so a gallon of water is 8 pounds. So we have 800 pounds of mortar mix pulled in on a wagon, and then 10 5-gallon collapsible jugs, which is 50 gallons, right? And that's times 8. So 50 gallons times 8, it's 400. I have wagoned in 1,200 pounds of material so far. More questions. Holler Dollar, do you have a solid foundation? Remember the parable of the guy who built his house on sand. I have better than a good foundation. There's a huge boulder under most of this. And you see I built these stone footers. And this, I don't know, it's been very successful doing this method at my other cabin. And I've never had any problems in 5 years of building sort of this way at my other cabin. So I think we're going to be okay. And, you know, sometimes maybe the ground will shift or move a little bit and you'll get a little bit of cracks. You just go back over them with some mortar mix. I'm not really concerned. I think it's going to be okay. Holler Dollar. I'm flying by the seat of my pants. I've never built anything before the first cabin. And I do think that I've learned a great deal building the first one. I think the second one will be, I don't know about better, but I think it'll be better built, maybe, right? That sounds solid enough to me. Keep it up. I will do that. Pennsylvania gets cold as fuck, though. Yeah, it could get to be -5 up there in the mountains. I've never seen it worse than -10. one weekend I went to the cabin, and what do they call that? Like a Canadian Arctic blast? I think they called it an Arctic blast. A cold front from Canada came rushing in through the mountains, and it was -10. But at the other cabin, I have a very big wood burner, which is, again, much bigger than I need it to be for that size cabin. Always put one bigger in than you think you need. Then you don't have to struggle. Even when it was -10, it was 70 inside very easily. I didn't have to really work that hard or stoke the fire too much to get it to stay 70. Yeah. Do you have a solid foundation? Yes, we do. I'm sorry. I thought it was a new comment. Okay. I've been there when it was -10, says Kenny Reed, my deadpan. Yeah, it was cold. I'll tell you this. My car wouldn't start. The battery in my car died. But, you know, I'm a good Boy Scout, Kenny Reed, my deadpan, so I have a charger at the cabin and one of those jumper things that you just jump a car with, those little boxes. I tried the little jumper thing. That wouldn't do it. So I plugged in the charger and I charged my car battery on the 10 amp setting for like an hour, and the car started right up. And then one other time when I was there, when it was -5, the fuel pump in my car froze up and the car would not start. So luckily, you know, I'm not good with cars. I called AAA and the guy came there and he tried a few things. And then he said, I think your fuel pump is frozen. And I go, okay, well, what do I do about that? And he's like, do you have a little like electric heater or something? And I go, yeah. And he goes, well, if you don't mind, go put an electric heater right here. And I did, and plug it in, and we'll wait like a half hour. So he got in his truck. I invited him in the cabin, but I think he was like a little shy. I don't know. I was like, you know, it's warm in there. You want some coffee? He goes, I'll take some coffee, but I'd rather sit in my truck if you don't mind. I go, sure, sit in your truck. So he sits in his truck. We wait a half hour. And then he had me go underneath and he showed me, he gave me a hammer. And he's like, when I start the car, just start banging on this part right here. So I'm laying under there in the snow, banging on the fuel pump. And he got in the car, turned the ignition on, and started right up. Those are the only 2 times I've really had major vehicular problems. And I got to tell you, I had a slight panic attack when I couldn't leave because, you know, I got to get home on Sunday to take care of my kids for Sunday night and Monday. And I didn't know what to do. Like, do I just call my wife and tell her the car won't start and I'm fucked? Like, I can't get home, you know? But luckily, AAA, I highly recommend AAA. It's $110 a month, or not a month, $110 a year. When you need help, they come, and usually they're able to help you. Flat tire, dead battery, whatever. It's awesome. Yeah, does sound solid enough. So I think we've done our due diligence, but I'll be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to be talking about a very depressed Darkside Phil. I don't know if you heard, or no, very depressed David Wilcock. Darkside Phil's probably depressed too, though, to be honest. David Wilcock seems defeated and depressed because he knows that all his predictions are about to fail and that he's fucked and he's going to have to come up with whole new bullshit. But it is what it is, and this is where we find ourselves. So I will be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I hope you'll be here with me. But for now, friends, that's all I got for you. So until next time, my name is Stephen Cambion. Good night, and God bless all of you.
At Cambion's Pig Roast, we light the fire. Bring your hungry soul and lift you higher. Piggy on the spit, turning slow and right. Then heads come around every Friday night. Cambion's Pig Roast, come and get your fill. Best in town, we guarantee you thrill. Juicy cuts and flavors you'll adore. Pig heads love it, they keep coming back for more. From the crispy skin to the tender bite, Cambion's Pig Roast makes your evening bright. Hot and sizzling every single piece. Then heads gather round, taste the feast. Cambion's Pig Roast. come and get your fill. Best in town, we guarantee the thrill. Juicy cuts and flavors you'll adore. Big heads love it, they keep coming back for more. So grab a fork and bring your smile. Stay a while, let's eat in style. Join the fun and taste the magic. 10 heads know this feast's fantastic. Canyon's pig roast, come and get your fill. Best in town, we guarantee the thrill. Juicy cuts and flavors you'll adore. 10 heads love it, they keep coming back for more. Grab a fork and bring your smile. Stay a while, let's eat in style. Join the fun and taste the magic. 10 heads know this feast's fantastic. Canyon's pig roast, come and get your fill. Best in town, we guarantee the thrill. Juicy cuts and flavors you'll adore. 10 heads love it, they keep coming back for more.
DARKSYDEPHIL is begging again. Why the hell am I his friend? DARKSYDEPHIL is begging again. Why the hell am I his friend? Try to take him far, but he's just a falling star. Try to take him far, but he's just a falling star. It's such a sad, sad story. He lost all of his glory. It's the sad, sad story of DARKSYDEPHIL. It's such a sad, sad story. He lost all of his glory. It's the sad, sad story of DARKSYDEPHIL. DARKSYDEPHIL is begging again. When will his begging ever end? DARKSYDEPHIL is begging again. When will his begging ever end? Try to take him far, but he's just a falling star. Try to take him far, but he's just a falling star. It's such a sad, sad story. He lost all of his glory. It's the sad, sad story of DARKSYDEPHIL. It's such a sad, sad story. He lost all of his glory. It's the sad, sad story of DARKSYDEPHIL.
This is a pig. The game blatantly cheated.